Thank you. Well, hello, everybody. My name is John Mulaney. It's very nice to be here. It's very nice to be out of the house at night in general for me. I actually quit drinking a few months ago because, yeah, thank you for your support. But what had happened was I got to a point where I was blacking out every time I drank, and I went to talk to my doctor about it, and he said that it wasn't that I was drinking too much. It's just that after you have a couple major blackouts, your brain will black out easier and easier automatically. So I could go to a bar and have 1 or 2 beers and my brain would be like, okay, I see where this is headed. Why don't we just power down now? And then get restarted sometime tomorrow morning. It was always weird when I would go out for the night with some money and then black out and wake up with no money. It was even weirder, though, when I would go out for the night with some money, black out, and wake up with more money. Because that means that I earned money. And that means that I traded goods and or services. Which is scary, but sometimes I'd almost be proud of it. I'd be like, wow, I turned $20 into $100. I am a financial wizard. I'd like to give people money advice, but I don't know how that would go. They'd be like, John, I'm looking to get rich quick. And I'd be like, well, have you tried mixing daiquiris with Ambien? They're like, does that work? I'm like, it didn't not work. Stay home now, and I watch Law & Order. That is my favorite show. I realized Law & Order was my favorite show when I was in my 4th consecutive hour of Law & Order. Figure this better be my favorite, otherwise I have a problem. Best thing about Law & Order, though, is that the same things happen on every episode. Every single episode. Watch it next time. In the beginning of every Law & Order, when the detectives are first, interviewing witnesses for the case, the people they talk to always act like it's no big deal to be questioned by homicide detectives. They're very casual about it. There's been a double rape and murder, and they're talking to some guy who's just like, Tony Ramirez? Yeah, I remember him. Used to work here Tuesdays, right? It's like, dude, people have died. You can't stop unloading crates for a few seconds? How often do you talk to homicide detectives? And then they'll let some detail about the case go that they don't even realize is important. They'll be like, well, did he say where he was going? I don't know. He said something about going to the knife store. Yeah, knife store. Knife store pertains to the stabbing investigation. I grew up Catholic. I had to go to Catholic schools. We had, We had Bible study class in the school I went to. Every week, Bible study class. And one Bible story I've always remembered is the story of King Solomon and the baby. I don't know if you guys remember this one. King Solomon, he's the wise king of Israel. And 2 women bring him a baby. And they say, we both claim that this is our baby. What are you gonna do? And Solomon says, well, we will cut the baby down the middle. And the first woman says, oh, okay. And the other woman says, no, don't cut the baby down the middle. And Solomon says, aha, congratulations. You have proven yourself to be the real mother. A couple things with that. One, who is this first woman? That's like, yeah, cut the baby in half. That sounds like a good idea. What kind of awful woman has just stolen a baby? She stole a baby. And then at the first inquest, she's like, look, I'll take what I can get. Can I get the legs? I'll take the legs. She can have the top part. She's so whacked out, she calls the head the top part. Secondly, that he knew it was the real mother because she knew not to cut a baby in half. Oh, I think most people would come to that conclusion. If I was walking down the street and I saw someone about to saw a child in half, I'd be like, hey, why don't you not do that? And they'd be like, oh, you must be the father. Well, congratulations. Thanks very much, everybody. I'm John Mulaney.
Thank you.
That's hilarious.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
thank
Thanks
you so
very much.
much. Very funny. John Mulaney. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Oh, hello, everybody. It is very nice to be here. I do love this city, I must say, because, like, no matter what night of the week it is, all the bars around here always break out some big drink special. You know, and most of them are okay. They're like bucket of beers or ladies drink free. But, like, sometimes I'll hear about a drink special that sounds like borderline dangerous. Like, my friend will call me up and be like, man, we gotta go to O'Halligan's tonight. It is nickel shot night. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll die if we go to O'Halligan's. Nickel shot night should be illegal. This time of year is very cool because this is when all the big summer action movies come out, you know, these big blockbusters. You'll read about them in the paper and you'll hear that they cost something like $100 million. Whenever I hear that, I always think, like, you didn't need to make a movie with that money. I would have bought a ticket just to see $100 million. Like, I'm at a point in my life where I would wait online to look at that much cash. You could just, like, stack it up in a motel room, line us up down the hall, have some guy out front like, it's $8 to see the $100 million, or $10 to have your money added to the $100 million. Ooh, very luxurious. But it'd be fun, think about it. You'd go into this room and there would be like stacks of $100 bills and jewelry and like gold coins spilling out of a pirate chest. Because pirates never bring a big enough chest. In pictures, the gold coins are always overflowing. Why is that? I think that maybe with the eye patches, they have poor depth perception. But that's just a theory. That's just my own theory. I'll tell you, one guy with a lot of money that fascinates me is Donald Trump. He is a rich man. He's a very rich man. Actually, no. To me, Donald Trump is not just a rich man. Donald Trump is like what a hobo imagines a rich man to be. Like, Donald Trump was walking through an alley and he heard some guy just like, as soon as my number comes in, I'm gonna put up tall buildings with my name on them. I'll have fine golden hair. And a TV show where I fire people with my children. And Trump was like, that is how I will live my life. Thank you, hobo, for that life plan. And that's how that happened. I bet when Donald Trump makes a decision, he thinks to himself, what would a cartoon rich person do? Put up billboards with my face on them. That's a good idea. He puts his name on everything, like that's gonna stop him from dying. Like, did he see Citizen Kane, but not the end? Like, he paused it at 89 minutes and was just like, this is a very happy ending. This is one of the finest DVDs in Manhattan. You'll be my guest at the watching of this DVD. I don't watch his show that often. I only have one favorite show, and that is Law and Order. That is my absolute favorite show. Yes, I talk about Law and Order a lot, okay, because I'm obsessed with it. Like, I watch so much Law and Order that sometimes I think I'm on an episode of Law and Order. Like, I'll be walking to the car with my friend, and I'll be like, hey, man, you see the game last night? Yeah, that ref should get his eyes checked. Wait a second. Parking garage in the afternoon? Vague and crappy dialogue? We're about to find a dead body. Yes, but we never do. Law and Order is great because they always have the same recurring people on it. These same characters you see, different actors, same idiots, again and again. Some of my personal favorite recurring characters, there's Judge who allows everything. I'll allow it. But watch yourself, McCoy. And of course, New York City bartender who recognizes everybody who's ever been in the bar ever. They give this guy a photo, and he's like, oh! First, they always make this face, like their face needs to adjust to a photograph. They're like, oh, a picture. Not for nothing, but for a second, I thought it was a tiny person. Okay. Yeah, blue shirt lady. Nice lady. Came in here Friday around 7:30. Like, did she seem upset? Nah, she was smiling. Guy she was with didn't look too happy, though. He left about 9:35, 9:36. It's like, which New York City do you work in? I live with people I don't recognize. Then they ask the same thing every time. They're like, why, did something happen to her? Like, yeah, something most definitely did. That's why the murder police are here with a photograph of her talking about her in the past tense. There's been an incident. Thank you very much, everybody. My name's John Mulaney. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey. Absolutely hilarious. That was great.
Thank you very much.
John Mulaney, everybody. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
I am about to be 30 years old, which is very exciting. But I was hoping that by now, thank you, I was hoping that by now I would look older. And I don't. I don't look older at all, I just look worse. That's what's happened. Like when I'm on the street now, nobody's ever like, hey, look at that man. They're just like, whoa, that tall child looks terrible. Get some rest, tall child. You can't keep burning the candle at both ends. I have a girlfriend now, and she's a woman, and she's great, and I love her very much, and our relationship is going well. So a few months ago, she said that it was time for her to meet my parents, because that is what people do when a relationship is going well. They meet each other's parents, and I have never understood that. I've never been with my girlfriend and thought, oh, babe, tonight is going great, but do you know what would make it perfect? Charles and Ellen Mulaney. Yeah, let's get them in the mix. We've been going pretty hot and heavy lately. I think it's time we bring in two older Catholic people. I live in New York City. It's a great place. And I was coming home the other night. I want to tell you about this. I was coming home, and in front of my building, on the street, I saw a wheelchair knocked over on its side with no one in it. That is such a bad thing to see. Something happened there. You hope it was a miracle, but probably not. Probably something worse than a miracle. New York is very safe, though. It's a very safe city because on most streets, they're filming Law & Order Special Victims Unit. They're always doing that. That's my favorite show on television. I love Law & Order SVU because on SVU, you can say the grossest, sickest things you've ever heard in your life. You can say anything on SVU. No, you can't say the F word, but people walk around on that show going like, looks like the victim has anal contusions. Looks like we found semen and fecal matter in the victim's ear canal. Those are two real things that I heard on Law & Order Special Victims Unit at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Both spoken by Ice-T. Ice-T is a detective with the Special Victims Unit. He handles New York's most sensitive cases. I love Ice-T on SVU. He's awesome. And what I especially love about him is that he's been with the SVU, about 11 years now, but he still treats every case like it's his first in terms of total confusion. Like, they will be in the middle of an investigation, and Ice-T will just be like, yo, you telling me this dude gets off on little girls with pigtails? Like, yeah, Ice. He's a pedophile. You work in the sex crimes division. You're gonna have to get used to that. Oh, there was this one episode recently where the episode was about sex addiction. So they were talking about sex addicts. And there was a scene where the other detectives are trying to teach Ice-T what sex addiction is. And it takes a couple of minutes. And finally, Ice-T gets it, and they cut to him in this close-up. And he goes, oh, I get it. You mean like when someone drinks too much? or snorts cocaine, or bets the house on the ponies. And I was like, yeah, man, you got it. And I was psyched that Ice-T understood and that they could move on with the investigation. But I could have watched another 4 hours of him just naming examples. Just that shot of Ice-T. And him like, or like when someone smokes too many cigarettes. Or like when someone shops too much with credit cards. Or like when someone plays too many scratchy lotteries. Or like when someone eats too much chocolate cake. Or like when someone eats too much chocolate cake and then barfs it up. And he would just keep talking, and it would slowly fade out and say executive producer Dick Wolf. That'd be my ideal episode. Thank you very much. I'm John Mulaney. Thanks.
Absolutely hilarious. Very funny. I'm curious now because very funny stuff, but I detect some truth in what you're talking about. For example, you said...
is on SVU.
Just wanted to clear that up. That's our show. Good night. No, you talk about your girlfriend and how you introduce your girlfriend to your... Did you introduce your girlfriend to your parents?
Yeah, she's met my family now a couple times, and it was great. The only thing that was tricky was when we started dating, she's a female, my girlfriend is, and then I have all these friends that are females.
Yes.
So then I thought when we started dating, I was like, oh great, they'll all get along. No. Not even a little at the beginning. Like, I don't mean to make any generalizations about women because I don't know anything about women, but I have noticed that like women can be friends with each other, but you can't force them to hang out with each other. Like you couldn't do a heist with women. Does that make sense? Like Ocean's 11 with women wouldn't work because two would keep breaking off to talk trash about the other nine. Not even talking trash, just say weird passive-aggressive things to each other while they break into the casino.
Right.
It's like, oh, I love how you just wear anything.
That's why they haven't made that movie. It can't work.
No, it can't.
You are a writer on Saturday Night Live, as I was like 50 years ago. You are, along with Bill Hader, you're responsible. The two of you have created a character that's really caught on, probably one of the most popular characters they've had recently, Stefan. I think we have a, we have a still.
Bill does, yeah.
It's Bill Hader playing Stefan, and
there he is.
It's an interesting creative process where you actually try and surprise Bill Hader a little bit when he's performing the character, right?
Oh, when he's about to do them on air, yeah. I mean, Bill's absolutely brilliant, and he's made that character so funny, and it's really fun to write those with him. But sometimes, the first times we were doing them, he's a real professional, but he would just break because he liked it. He'd start laughing because he liked the jokes and just started laughing and tried to control it, and it was really funny. And so I figured it'd be fun to keep messing with him so that he laughs every time.
Right.
So I just started putting new jokes on the cue cards in between dress and air.
Literally, so he's live and he's seeing jokes he's never seen before for the first time.
Well, just so that he wouldn't trip up over the wording, because if you read a cue card, you might not understand it, but I'll go up to him and I'll be like, there's a new club owner and it's Baloney Danza, and then he walks right out to the desk. So I'll add something like, because Stefan does these runs of, the descriptions of what are at these nightclubs, so I think in the fall we did one, and I put in a shaved lion that looks like Mario Batali. That was added for air.
I loved that one.
How'd you like that? I put in 2 Spud Webbs once. Spud Webb was at one club, and then Spud Webb was at another club later. And then one time we did this 12 Days of Christmas thing, and instead of 2 turtle doves, it was Taylor Negron. And I decided...
I haven't heard anyone mention Taylor. I mean, he's a great comedian.
He's great.
Yeah, but he's not discussed a lot.
Because he's at this Christmas club with Stefan. But I didn't have a new joke, but I was like, oh, I need to throw Bill off somehow. I have to be unprofessional about this. So I just printed up a photo of actor-comedian Taylor Negron, and I signed it to Bill, thank you for never making fun of me on Weekend Update, and then handed it to him as he was walking out.
So he broke, and that's your victory.
I handed it to him, and he was like, you bastard, and then walked out to do it. Yeah.
That's what your job is, to ruin him and ruin his life.
Try and ruin things.
Very funny stuff. John Mulaney, new in town. It's going to be available on CD and on DVD Tuesday. Yeah, so watch out for that. And thank you so much for being here. Really hilarious. Great having you on the show. Congratulations. John Mulaney. your next comic tonight on my show, as well as Comedy Central, Saturday Night Live. Please welcome, he's such a terrific guy, such a funny guy, and a good man, Mr. John Mulaney.
Thank you, Conan. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? How you need? So I proposed about a year and a half ago. I talked to a lot of friends before I got engaged, and I heard this expression about whether or not you should get married. I don't know if you've ever heard this. It's been around for a long time. People say this. They go, "Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?" You ever heard that shit before? It's a crazy insulting expression to an entire gender. You know what that expression means? Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? It means why would you marry a woman if she's already having sex with you? That's not even what relationships are like anymore. Now the question is, why buy the cow, question mark? Maybe because every day the cow asks you when you're gonna buy it, and you live in a really small apartment with the cow, so you can't avoid that question at all. Oh, and also the cow is way better at arguing than you are, and the cow grew up in a family that knows how to argue. Why buy the cow, question mark? Maybe because every time another cow gets bought, you have to go to the sale, and you have to sit next to your cow at the sale, and your cow looks over at you the entire time like, and does not enjoy the sale at all, even though she's the one that wanted to go to the sale. And she's especially mad because that farmer and cow met like 8 months after you guys met. Why buy the cow? Well, never forget, you're very lucky to have the cow that you do have. Roping in cows and getting milk out of them was never anything you were known for, John. By the most liberal of estimates, there have been about 8 cows total, several unmilked, and a lot of people think you like bulls, and if you just... They assume it. When you Google your name, the third thing to come up is like John Mulaney bull, question mark. And if you just buy a cow, nobody will say that anymore. I'm kidding, they'll still say it. Can't wait to see you all back stateside. We've been doing a lot of good work over there. We have weed legal in 18 to 19 states right now. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of good stuff. We're really heroic people. I live in California. I drive a Hummer. We have, What? Now, I live in California. We have medical marijuana there, which means legal marijuana. The reasons to get it don't have to be very medical. You just walk in there and you're like, oh, it hurts when I put my hand on the stove. And they're like, oh, no one should live in that kind of pain. You need to get baked to shit every afternoon. 18 to 19 states have some kind of legal weed. I think that's moving in the right direction, but it's a very weird thing, is it not? It's a weird thing. Because it's the first time I've ever seen a law changed because the government is just like, fine, you know? Other things we have to argue about in the Supreme Court, but with weed, it was just something we wanted really badly. And we kept bugging them for 40 years, being like, excuse me. And suddenly the government just became like cool parents all of a sudden. They're just like, okay, here, take a little. We'd rather you do it in the house than go somewhere else. Thank you so much for having me, How You Did. This was a pleasure. Thank you. See you soon.
Mulaney, how funny is John Mulaney? That guy's amazing. I've just been told, this is exciting, that 2 of New York's hottest Broadway stars are here. They want to say hello. Please welcome stars of the hit Broadway show, Oh Hello, Gil Faison and George St. Keegan. Let's get them out here. Great. Yeah, that.
Music.
The catch. Hello.
Or should we say, Apollo?
Apollo Theater.
Showtime at the Apollo.
I got it. Yeah, I think we all got it. Guys, thank you so much for coming. It's a real treat.
No, it's our pleasure. We were already up here taping our prank show, Express Train, where we tell white people that the train is local, but really it's an express. Straight to Harlem, baby.
It's a terrific show.
You know, we're Upper West Side guys, Conan, so us coming here is like a reverse different strokes. Because we went from Manhattan to Harlem. Also, we did cocaine first and then became actors.
Okay.
Again, a reverse.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, now I see you brought gifts with you. Yeah.
Well, if you see something, say something.
This is our welcome back to New York official basket right here. Yeah. This is the basket that Kevin Hart goes hot air ballooning in.
Okay, very nice.
Oh, and he wasn't here. He's not here to respond to it. Yeah. But we got your cornucopia of New York mementos.
Oh, really? Well, thank you very, very much. How thoughtful.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You know, it's great. It's full of all this great stuff, like this official New York City street umbrella, pre-broken.
That's terrific.
Just toss it in the street.
Yeah.
Also, look, we scoured, Conan. We scoured every pizza place.
Conan.
We scoured every pizza place in New York to find the most sun-faded photo of Danny Aiello.
Oh.
There it is. Is it still?
And we also got you a snack in case you got hungry on the subway.
Yes. Oh.
You know, exposing yourself to women on the subway can make you pretty hungry. So.
I don't do that.
I know that's us. That's us. It's watermelon that's been in the fridge for 3 weeks, so that when you eat it, it's like spicy.
Okay, it's spicy. Nice.
Les, look at this. We got you a copy of Fagin's New York.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you mean Fodor's New York.
No, this is a guide to a favorite NYC spots, a Steely Dan's Donald Fagen. Okay?
They know all the hot tourist things, like going ice skating on Anthony Weiner's weird, smooth chest.
Yeah.
Plus, look, you know, if you want to do some shopping, we got you a gift certificate to that cemetery that you see on the way to LaGuardia.
Yeah.
Get anything you want.
Very thoughtful. Thank you. Thank you so. What did you just do? Who was that?
Just gave you a little kissy on the arm.
It's the strangest thing. I don't know why you did that.
Normal.
That's how I show people I like them.
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. That's odd. Well, thank you very much. Do you want to promote your show now?
Oh, no. Actually, we want to promote our hot new ticket sales company, StumpHub.
Yes. This is not to be confused with the dating site for paraplegics.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, like you didn't know it was gonna go there.
Yeah. Did you
on.
not? Did you not?
Okay, StumpHub. What kind of things do you sell tickets to? I'm curious.
Oh, incredible stuff. Big celebrities, you know, big shows. Like Louis Guzman's new one-man show, Duck Duck Goose.
Oh, Duck Duck Goose.
Yeah.
Hey.
Louis doing great.
Wow, looks good, yeah.
Conan, have you ever heard of Cats?
Yeah, the musical Cats, yes.
Yes, well, Cats is revived right now on Broadway, so we revived our Cats-inspired musical, Pugs. Yeah. And we reunited the original 1983 cast of Pugs. These are 23-year-old pugs, and their hips are shot. Yeah. So but listen, they just kind of slide around the stage while we play music off of a boombox.
A boombox. Wow, okay. What else you got?
Oh, and we have tickets to the hottest new tourist attraction for thrill seekers, the Hudson Heave.
The Hudson Heave, what's that?
Yes. For $11, you can shove a stranger into traffic. Yeah, yeah.
Why do you like that?
Take that, de Blasio.
You
We're
sure?
mad at everything.
Sure, yeah. So what are you guys up to later?
We have reservations at Guy Fieri's Great American Garbage Fire.
Oh, okay, all right.
And that's a shot.
Yeah, that's a shot.
Yeah.
But they're not for a few hours, so,
Yeah.
you know, we're just gonna hang here.
All right, well, I think probably you guys should probably move on. I think we're gonna go to.
We can hang.
No, we can hang here,
We'll
yeah.
hang right here.
Well, do you want to have a seat in the audience? Maybe you'd have a seat in the audience.
And then? Yeah, we're gonna be up here.
Yeah, we'll be.
We're up here on stage.
You can't stay up here. No, you can't. I got a show to do.
Come on, we're on our marks and the lighting's nice. We want to live here.
Yeah.
We'll let him stay. Gil Faison, George, St. Geegland, everybody. Tracy Morgan coming up. We'll be right back. We had a nice time. Not too long ago, you came over to my house.
Yes.
For dinner. I don't know, this was like, must have been 6 months ago, maybe 5 months ago?
Yeah,
something
5 or
like
6 months ago. It was a dinner that was put together by our mutual friend, John Mulaney, who's
Yeah.
a wonderful comedian.
And for some reason, he said, I want to put together a dinner of a bunch of comedians, and we're gonna, and then he said, and we're gonna have it at Conan's house, and Conan's gonna serve the meal. And I was like, oh, okay.
yes.
Good, all right, sure, yeah.
And you very graciously agreed and got bullied into it.
Yep. But it was really fun. It was a great, great group.
Incredible group. It was us two, Mulaney, Nick Kroll, Fred Armisen, Eugene
Levy.
yes, Martin Short, and Steve Martin.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it
was nice. I was in my own home and I thought I had won a contest.
yes.
It was really fun. I was just like, wow. And
It was the greatest night of my life.
well, wait, you just said you had a child.
Yeah, but don't tell anybody I said that. So it was the greatest night of my life, no doubt about it. But point being, I don't know if you remember this moment, but there's a moment in the night when I've always been curious about something. I know you know what I'm talking about because we worked at SNL. But Lorne Michaels smells fantastic. And there's a thing everyone who works there knows, which is if he's just been in the hallway or if he's just been in the elevator or something, you can smell whatever the smell is that he smells like.
Yes.
Like Lorne was just here. And
It's
it
a
smells
scent.
Great.
This
Yes.
is a very pleasant but hard to define scent.
Correct. So I've always wondered what it was, and at that dinner, I was like, man, there's never going to be a better time to ask a group of people because they all know him.
Everybody at that table had worked for Lorne.
Yeah, so I was, asked. It's like, hey, anybody know what that thing Lorne uses? What is that? And Mulaney actually was the one who was like, oh, I was curious about that too. I asked someone in his office, it's a deodorant made by Hermes. And I went, oh, that's so cool. Wouldn't it be so funny if we all got it and then we all smelled like Lorne and it freaked everyone out and we all laughed together like, yeah, it'd be crazy.
Right.
Then moved on. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember me laughing, but everyone else was laughing.
Yeah. You were stone cold on it.
He was probably just eating.
Yeah.
I was like, we can use this on the talk show.
At any rate, a few weeks later, Mulaney texts me and he goes, you'll never guess what I just did. I got the Lorne deodorant. And I was like, that's funny. So did I.
You got it too?
I also went and got it. And he was like, oh, that's so funny. My wife, Anna, has been making fun of me because for the first week, I was using it without taking the see-through plastic cap off the top.
So he was spraying himself and nothing was coming out?
It's a roll-on.
Oh, a roll-on, okay, yeah.
And I was like, ah, ha, ha, you dummy. Wait, what plastic cap? I went and checked mine, and it was all, no! And my wife was like, you idiot. You were like, I feel like I have to put so much of it on to make it work. I was like grinding plastic into my armpit.
You were probably walking around going, smell anything?
Yes.
No.
So then, a little while after that, we were like, aha, okay, but now we both smell wonderful and we smell like Lorne. So
Yeah.
then, a while after that, I was chatting with someone who works with Lorne, and I told that story, and they were like, oh, that's funny. He doesn't use Hermes. That's not it.
Oh, you're kidding?
And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, 100% that's not it. And I was crushed, and I called John, and I was like, hey, man, it's not the right one. We're not using the Lorne scent. And he was like, what? Then who the hell do we smell like? And I said, I think we smell like each other. And that was it. That's the end of the story. But I'm still using it.
It turns out Lauren uses those free things that come in the magazine and just puts them on.
Whatever it
I've
is.
got them all fooled.
Great. Never see him take a sniff.
I am so, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, that's the first thing I'll do.
I'm just recommending it to the world.
My first guests are longtime friends and collaborators who recently finished off a 4-month Broadway run of their hit play, Oh Hello, which was hilarious. On February 25th, they'll be hosting the Film Independent Spirit Awards on IFC. Please welcome best friends Nick Kroll and John Mulaney. I'm sorry, John, where's Nick?
What?
Where's Nick?
Nick. Oh, Mr. Kroll is here somewhere, but...
What do you mean he's here somewhere?
Well, I don't speak for Mr. Kroll.
You don't speak for Mr. Kroll? That's no. This is.
I don't.
This is.
I don't. I know he's in the building. I walked out. You announced us. I don't.
We booked both of you. I said you were both supposed to be here. It was supposed to be John Mulaney. Okay. I'm sorry, what was that all about?
Mr. Mulaney and I are not speaking currently.
We are currently not speaking to each other.
Yeah.
You're not speaking to each other. You just finished 4 months together on Broadway.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, Conan.
Yeah.
It was not a long. No, it was not a long time ago.
It ended January 22nd. That's in the past.
Yeah.
Mr. Kroll and I are not speaking.
Yeah, we are currently in litigation with one another. I'm in litigation with Mr. Mulaney.
Yeah, hence the Mr. Kroll and the Mr. Mulaney.
All right, wait, you're suing each other? Is that right?
It's a falling out, Conan.
Yeah.
All right? Like Simon and Garfunkel or
Hall
who wrote Rich Girl?
Hall and Oates. Hall and
yeah.
Oates did that. We don't talk to
We
each
don't
other.
talk to
You
each
just
other.
talked to each other right there.
No, I didn't.
No, we didn't.
No, I
Don't-
didn't. And
don't
you
turn
can't
this.
prove. Don't turn this on us. This is a classic falling out like Sasha and Malia.
Okay,
Anyone
no.
else.
Sasha and Malia did not have.
They don't speak anymore.
Get out of
idiot.
your
Get out of your
bubble.
Those are photo ops.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so there's a lawsuit. Is this anything to do with John? You wrote a tell-all book.
Well, I felt
Does that
the
have
need-
anything to do with it right
Yeah,
here?
well-
Is this?
I felt the need to set the record straight and knick-knack this guy's whack, give the freak a bone.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
there's a question mark there, but I can tell you the answer, yes.
All right.
I wanted
That's
to
the
call
worst title of any book.
well, I wanted to
beautiful
call
jacket
it. It's a
design.
beautiful
Yeah.
jacket. We did it in about a half hour on a computer. I wanted to call it Mr. Lousy, aka Admiral Jerk, but you can't have profanity on book covers.
Okay, look, this is a children's show. I don't know what's even happening here. So you wrote this book, and
Yeah.
that's what caused the problem?
It's one of the many. I mean, I was personally offended by it, you know, but it goes way back. I mean, this goes deep. This is, you know, Mr. Mulaney. I mean, he stole. I mean, I had a drug problem.
He had a heroin problem.
I had a drug problem. Heroin wasn't the only drug I was doing.
Fair enough. Mr. Kroll is correct in that he was abusing other things other than opioids. Then I save this guy's life. I take him to the best rehab, you know, Trump's doctor. I take him to that guy. I save this guy's life, Dr. Harold Bornstein, I believe.
That's the name. Yeah, the guy
That's the
saved my
guy's real
life.
name.
The guy saved my life. So I get out of rehab. I find a great woman, Sookie. She's my girl.
An awful person.
And then she starts looking at the books. She sees that Mulaney, Mr. Mulaney, is stealing money
Because
from me.
I wanted to.
Right.
Oh, wait, you were stealing money
I
from...
wanted the
Hundreds.
money.
I mean, this is, oh, hello, this is hundreds of dollars
But,
we're
yeah,
talking
This
about.
man, you know, you say Hollywood's a ruthless place. This guy stole a roll from me. It was a brioche. and I wanted it. I had the butter out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, sourdough would have been funnier?
I
Go
know.
to
I
hell.
know. And so, and what else have you guys done? I understand there was a radio
I
appearance.
went on the radio.
Oh, this,
I was
yes.
furious,
Yes.
so I went on the radio and I acted out.
Okay,
And
what'd
I don't
you do?
regret it. I went on Stern.
Oh. Okay, you went on the Howard Stern show.
No, I went on Daniel Stern's radio show. He was
a
the
minute.
narrator from The Wonder Years.
Yes, Daniel Stern, the narrator of the Wonder Years. He has a radio show.
Yeah. Yeah. We got the clip.
You got a clip from it? Let's listen.
Let's play the clip.
Yeah, but what John doesn't say in the book is that he drinks so much coffee that his schwanz doesn't work. The guy's got a classic case of caffeinus.
And the funny thing is, standing there that winter afternoon, I knew things would be all right.
That's not. No. You know what? I can't believe that you're fighting because you guys have been coming on my show since 1997.
I mean,
Since 1997.
Full with us,
Come on, what are you
Conan.
doing here? You're trying to bring up old times
Make
so
us
that we cry like Fonzie a little?
Fonzie on-
No, no, no.
No, right.
You've been coming on since 1999. I'm going to show, guess what? I'm going to show a picture
do
of
this.
your
But
appearance
hey,
on 1997.
come on.
Look at that.
Jesus. You're gonna show us this picture to remind us of younger men.
Hey, come on, no offense,
We're
but I'm
babies.
crying a little.
We're babies. We were babies. Jesus.
Remember we were crawling?
And we crawl out and we do our bit, and then Conan calls us over.
Conan would give you the thumbs up and the OK sign and the hang 10.
Yeah.
That meant to come over to the couch.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which, if you were an infant, that was a big deal.
It was a big thing. You had to
If you
come
loved,
over
you
as
could
an
roll
infant.
around on the couch. I could put my foot in my mouth back then, and I don't mean misspeak. I could fit my
He could put his whole
soup
foot-
dumpling of a foot right in my drooly lip.
Yeah, Jesus.
that?
Those were the great. I mean, this is what he's doing, though. He's trying to remind us of what we were.
Yeah.
This guy, he's worthless.
He's worthless. He's this
What are you
guy.
talking about? Worthless?
No,
Like,
Trying
Guys-
to make up here.
You see, have you ever seen you wear your leather jacket off
Yeah, you seen
camera?
Conan's off-camera leather
It's
jacket?
Like,
You seen this thing?
guy, he's a joke.
This whole time we've been fighting with each other, when really the problem is Conan's offstage leather jacket.
His casual
His
look.
casual motorcycle. You're a father. Get a tweed jacket. And be like a husband.
I came and saw your show. I came backstage.
Yeah.
I did. We have a picture of me backstage hanging with you guys.
There it is.
Look at that.
Wearing? What's he wearing?
Okay, all right. The leather
What are
jacket.
you, one of the Tuskegee Airmen?
All right.
You dating a pink lady right now? Come on.
All right. Well, the important thing is you're back together now, right?
I love you. I
you.
never want to
Happy
work
Valentine's
out.
All right. We'll take a little break. More with Nick Cole and John Mulaney. Stick around. We'll be right back. Crazy man. We're back with Nick Cole, John Mulaney. I wanted to mention, I didn't mention this, you are the guys who are the hosts of the Film Independent Spirit Awards. Have you seen all the movies?
No.
No, not all the movies. You mean didn't all the movies ever made, or the
No,
nominations?
all of them.
I've seen like 2 movies all in. I've
Yeah.
seen,
Of all the movies that are nominated, you've only seen 2?
oh, no, I've seen a single movie nominated. I've seen A Knight's Tale, and I've seen the movie Tombstone.
Yeah, his favorite movies are A Knight's Tale and Tombstone,
Yeah.
and that's not.
And
a joke.
in college, I had a poster of Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
You know what movie was great this year?
What?
Father of the Bride on TV. Did you see that? It was a Sunday afternoon. Did anyone see that?
Yeah.
You could flip back and forth with ice skating.
Yeah. So you guys haven't watched any of the... That could be
sir.
awkward.
No.
If you get interviewed, if people ask you, what did you think of this movie? If you meet the talent and they ask you, what did you think of the film? That could be awkward.
Alka-Seltzer, though.
Yeah,
you just chew Alka-Seltzer
then
and you
start
fake
to
that you have
foam.
rabies.
You start to foam at the mouth. Right? What do you do? I mean, what do you
Yeah,
do? You have,
gotta
there's no
you
way
interview people where you haven't seen their film.
I occasionally do, yeah.
Yeah, occasionally.
You know what I do? I don't lie.
You don't?
I don't lie. I don't say I saw the film. I say, a lot of people love this film. Look for that at home. When you hear me say, there's a lot of talk about this movie.
Yeah.
And if I say, here's a really great scene, it's because I watched that scene.
So you're telling the truth. You know that's a good scene.
Yeah.
Out of
I don't even
context.
know it's a great scene. I just
You
say,
are saying here is
the scene.
Yeah.
I don't like to say I watched the movie and go into great detail about how I loved it and I watched it if I absolutely haven't seen any of them.
You could always go, hey, you're certainly on the show tonight. That would be a good compliment. That's a nice thing to
Well,
say.
you two are alive. Good to see you.
Oh, thanks, Conan.
Yeah.
Dude, he noticed.
Now, is this true? I heard that because you guys did a Broadway show, the Bronx Zoo named 2 animals after you guys.
Yes.
Animals, not animals. They named 2
hissing cockroaches.
hissing
Is that true?
cockroaches.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true.
There are 2 hissing cockroaches at the Bronx Zoo named Nick Kroll and John Mulaney.
Yeah.
We have not gone to see them because I assume there's like 100 cockroaches. And they're like, that's Nick and John.
Yeah.
Like, did you just point to 2 cockroaches?
Yeah, it feels slightly anti-Semitic to call a Jew a cockroach.
I'm fine with mine, but his is a direct insult.
Yeah.
The Irish, we don't give a shit.
No, we don't
Call us
care.
anything.
You can call us anything. We
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
But we're happy to be in zoos. We love zoos.
I love going to the zoo. Have you ever been to a zoo?
I have been to zoos
Have
a few
people been to
times.
the zoo? It's like a museum of living animals. It's wonderful.
Have people been to zoos?
Yeah.
I like to talk to the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually have gone to a lot of. That is the one thing we will like call and try to use our tiny amount of fame for is
Yes.
to go behind the scenes at zoos, and it's worked numerous times.
Yeah.
Wait, you call up and say we want to go behind
Yeah,
the
you
scenes?
could
We want
call
to
the zoo.
we want to go
Pull a
behind
little
the scenes.
VIP?
Yeah.
Yes, we
met
do.
pandas.
What?
It's not a big deal.
We met the pandas at the Smithsonian Zoo in Washington, D.C. We met Tian Tian, the father, Mei Zhong, the mother,
and Bebe,
Bebe, the baby.
which to me seems like a short-sighted name.
Yeah. You don't want to meet an old panda on the street. Go, what's your name? I'm Bebe. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's like New Kids on the Block in
Yeah.
the 60s. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was great. We got to interact with them. They ate a lot of bamboo and carrots.
Yeah, and they poop them out.
Yeah.
And you can turn their poop into paper.
What?
You can take panda poop if they've been eating enough bamboo, and you can turn it into paper.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff you find out if you call the zoo.
You can also though go to Staples.
Yeah.
Yes.
And buy paper.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
but then you gotta
environment.
wait online.
Yeah. And have you guys been to a zoo and you know what Staples is?
Yeah. This is the office supply store. And a zoo is like the movies, but instead of a screen, it's bars. And instead of actors, it's like a lemur
It's
or
a
something
lemur,
like that.
a meerkat, or a lazy lizard.
Yeah, but now there's another panda at the Smithsonian Zoo named Bao Bao, and
Yeah.
Bao Bao is going to China. We have an exchange program with China. Or at least we do now. I don't know what the White House is doing to sever that. Bao Bao's going back to China, and I was like, what's it gonna do there? I asked the zookeeper, and they're like, the pandas are from China.
Right.
Like, I was picturing it living in an apartment or something. Just in Beijing.
Yeah.
And like,
He doesn't know the bus system.
Yeah. like working at an iPhone factory.
yeah, making panda stuff.
All right. Well, you guys, you get around, you see things, and you
love
do
it.
things.
We have a
That's
lot
the
of fun.
important thing.
That's a compliment and a half.
That's a specific.
And
There
you're
you go.
still alive.
Yeah, we're still alive.
Nick and John are hosting the 2017 Film Independent Spirit Awards, which airs February 25th on IFC. I love you both intimately. Nick Kroll, John Mulaney. We'll be right back. You're hosting the Spirit Awards now. Second time I mentioned. This is the second time you're hosting it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild, but we want you to know, Conan, we haven't changed at all since last year.
Yeah.
You know, we came in and we hosted, and to us, it was just one of those days, but to all of you, it was the greatest thing that ever happened. And we know that everyone, I remember you, I don't remember you specifically, but I think you loved it, and everyone was saying how great it was, and to us, it was like, that's just a day, we haven't changed.
Yeah, man, we're just the same guys we've always been.
Okay,
you know?
listen, let's talk about this. First of all, you've been on the show before. This is not how you normally Yes, you can see. Yes, stop pointing.
There's
people.
wonderful people here.
Yeah, I know, but you.
And then that's
Why are you
And
pointing?
then- do they see the camera there, the monitor there?
I don't
Do
know.
see-
They don't see the monitor
I mean,
there.
are we?
That's wild, man. That's really
okay.
amazing.
Guys,
You must pinch yourself, man.
Yeah. Guys, you don't normally dress this way in the show. This is what you normally wear. You wear suits on the program. This is what you were wearing last time you were here.
That was a long time ago. That was 30 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, man, that was, and we don't even, it's like...
We've always dressed with the sort of steampunk meets pirate thing that never existed in real time, but...
Steampunk meets pirate,
meets
that's your
pirate,
style.
yeah.
Okay,
meets
all right.
like a pirate.
So tell us about these outfits. It's steampunk, it's pirate, what else?
we're done doing comedy. We're sort of doing our own clothing now. So I'm mainly doing scarves, and these are made from real materials.
Yeah.
What does that mean, real materials? What does that mean?
This was a wrap that a wonderful Armenian woman was wearing in Glendale, and it's now in my back pocket.
Yeah.
And these rings, these symbolize metal.
Yeah, and we own a great pop-up shop on Melrose. We're doing our clothes. You got to come down.
There's no parking. There's nowhere to park. It's wonderful.
No parking
though.
at your pop-up shop.
No, but we're
No.
doing all those shoes that look like if a pilgrim had sex with a genie.
Yeah.
We recently started doing home decorating, and we did Gerard Butler's home recently. And it's got
He was out of town and unaware, but we did gain access through a friend of ours that is a contractor.
Yeah, and
You decorated his home without him knowing.
Yes.
I see, yeah.
It's sort of a gothic erotica.
Yeah, okay.
And he found this amazing piece of art. It was a sort of a blacklit Jimi Hendrix poster found in this little place, allposters.com.
Yeah.
And he framed it. It's really amazing.
And can you tell us about the hat here? What's going on
Well,
with the
we're
hat?
doing floppy hats now because why should women be the only ones who can wear hats like this? And even though they're based on men's hats, it's sort of a tip of the hat, as you might say, to the Mad Men era. Those days have come and gone.
You're being such a dick right now.
Well, no, I mean, I get that. I get that kind of negativity. But,
Yeah, but-
when you break through fear, right?
Yeah.
We all know this.
Yep.
You realize that we're not even here.
Right.
So we don't exist.
Yeah, are
So
we
have a
here
great
at all,
day.
Conan? Are you even there?
No,
Is
I'm
this-
here. I'm here right
Yeah.
now. I'm here. I can see both of you very clearly.
Yeah.
But are you, though? And can you?
And are we even here? Are we just atoms twirling around this tectonic shift?
Am I just...
Okay. Means nothing what you're saying.
Thank you. I feel very blessed that you said that.
I'm just a thing. I'm just a thing called John Mulaney. It doesn't mean I'm not. This is just a collection of bits of skin, and this is a little chubby here, but this is not a person. I am an addict. That is true. I am a.
You're an addict.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
You're an addict. I didn't realize
Yes,
that.
but I'm in recovery right now.
Yeah.
I'm in a recovery based on the writings of Jose Canseco. It's not regular AA, which is a wonderful group. This is a new group.
Yeah.
Where public denial is key.
Yeah.
And private denial is encouraged.
But we're sober as well, and so
Yes.
we'll just snort a few lines of Lunesta,
Yeah.
and
We're sober except for a painkiller thing that we tell no one about.
But what you just did.
But I
okay.
did.
Oh, you just lost. I'm sorry.
Hey, no, let it be. Look
and
at
that's
you.
the
Look at
cycle
it.
of life. Put it in there.
Hey, look, what have I worn? Hey,
Keep it on, baby.
why should ladies have the floppy hats?
That's what I'm saying.
Look, I'm gonna get a straight answer out of them if it's the end of me. We'll take a break. More with Nick Kroll and John Mulaney. You have 2 hit shows on the air.
2.
You have
I'm
the
so successful.
You have the Goldbergs.
And
you have Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Now-
both hit shows.
Now, which one of those do you want to promote? You can promote one thing.
Hold on a second here, mister. I don't want to promote either. Neither. They're both so successful, they don't need promoting. You know what I want to promote? I want to promote my favorite comedian. His name is John Mulaney. That's right. And John Mulaney is hosting Saturday Night Live this Saturday. So watch John Mulaney do Saturday Night Live. You can catch me all the time.
He's the best comic out there right now.
By far.
By far.
And can I also add, he has a new Netflix special that comes out on May 1st. So I'm here tonight really to promote John Mulaney.
That's very nice of you, but my question is, how does any of that help me?
By the way, John Mulaney becomes more successful when he comes on your show. It creates excitement. That's right.
I just wanted a piece. I wanted to, you know, I love John. I think John's a genius. I saw his show downtown. He did his show in downtown LA.
Right, yes, at the Ace Theater.
About 2 months ago, and it was one of the funniest
Ridiculous.
2 hours
I saw
I've
him
ever
at
seen.
Largo.
But still,
Amazing.
us talking about him, again, doesn't help me.
Well, you got to stop thinking about yourself.
No.
I'm thinking
If there was
about
only
others.
some drug that would take my mind off myself.
There is. I wish I would have brought some with me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot to bring my pen. I should have.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be able to do the rest of the show.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Yeah.
You need to do.
I can't do this show when I'm acting all crazy and everything. All right, John Mulaney, we're going to host this. We're going to host this.
Okay.
We're going to get this out there.
Just John
This is the
Mulaney.
nice thing. John Mulaney, funniest guy around right now, is hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend. So we're going to both plug John Mulaney on Saturday Night Live. Watch it. And his new Netflix special debuts May 1st. John,
Yes.
you owe us big time.
No, you don't owe me.
You owe us!
You don't owe me. I love you.
One thing that occurs to me when I watch Big Mouth, because I know you and Mr. Mulaney, and I know a bunch, and your two characters are always having to make embarrassing sounds as voiceover artists in a cartoon, but you're constantly having orgasms or about to have an orgasm, and I think when you're recording that. And you're an adult male. Are you embarrassed when you're in that room making those noises?
Well, I'm about to do it right here on the stage. It's gonna be a quiet one. So, but
all
yes,
mine are quiet ones.
a small whimper.
I just go, and then a little tear.
Yeah. Just one little tear or two separate little tears?
Two separate tears that join up down here. They realize, you said, let's meet in the middle, yay! So stupid.
Yeah.
Now I have to apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize. When I did that, that was really childish, and it was a different time, and I've learned a lot since then.
As a friend of Conan, I would like to say I know that he's changed in the last 15 seconds. Like you hear, there's so many orgasms. Specifically Mulaney as Andrew, because Andrew is the character in the show who's constantly masturbating.
Yeah.
And so you're constantly hearing him.
Yes.
I guess the colloquial term would be to blow his load. So.
That we will cut out.
But
So
you
anyway,
just like, oh, you know,
that thing you said before. So anyway, what else?
But you do hear all the different versions of how one could orgasm.
Yeah.
And so I've now heard every version of it, like ecstatic, very depressed, surprised. I've heard all of them. I've heard every single one of
The
John's.
surprise orgasm really cracks me up. Well, this is an interesting development. You look good. You are a sharp dresser.
I didn't know you went this casual because I feel like I'm your business manager here. We should talk about an estate plan.
I know. We'll get to it, John. You're always worried. You're always worried.
And loop him in.
No, you do. You look. You always look sharp.
Thank you.
You really do.
I don't know. This suit fits now. I'm gonna be thin for 8 more months, I think. It's already starting to go.
Going to go in what way?
I can hide it. Like people go, you're thin, but I'm like, I know where the fat is. It's hidden in weird pockets.
Where is your fat specifically?
Well, my body's like the apartment of a drug dealer. Like at first you're like, there's no cash here, but then you tear open the couch and there's 900,000. I got a lot of lower back stuff. I'm not gonna tell you the rest. I got fat in strange places.
Now, are you saying that you think you're going to... What is this based on, that you think in 9 months, a year, or a couple of years from now you're going to be...
8 months was the figure I threw out.
Wow. You are my business manager.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd start prepping for it.
Do you, what makes you think that you are going to get heavy?
Bad nutrition, lack of exercise, and people, my wife and everyone I've ever met says you should stop smoking. And when I stop smoking, I think I'll gain weight.
Yeah.
And then what I don't do is exercise or eat well, so it'll all come together.
Right, right. Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, I'll wear a Hawaiian shirt and be fun, and it'll be great.
You got some news from the doctor recently that you were going to share with us. Is that correct?
Oh, well, I have a labral tear in my hip, which is, yeah, thank you. You know, you never think it's going to be you, and then the MRI comes out, and you have it. Now, I was very grateful. And it's a tear that ballerinas normally get, but I got it. And my dog also has it. My dog has mild hip dysplasia, and so do I.
So, and what did you bring? You brought us something, right?
Yes, I believe I have a bit of my, the full Hospital for Special Surgeries report on my hip and pelvis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
What every man wants to hear.
Frontal view. It's not, it's unremarkable.
On the subject of Saturday Night Live, I have to ask you, anytime I get together with friends of mine who worked on Saturday Night Live, Bill Hader's another good example, we always inevitably fall into doing our Lorne impressions, and I will say they are done with great love. Lorne Michaels, they're done with a lot of affection.
A lot of love and affection. Yeah.
Love and affection.
Yeah.
But Bill Hader, the last time he was on the show, he started doing a Lorne impression, and it's Lorne name-dropping serial killers.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
he rubs his face.
Rubs his eyes, and I was curious, do you do a Lorne impression? I don't know if you do.
Do you do one?
I do one in the way that everybody does.
Do you have like one phrase you use?
No, I don't.
Oh,
no.
I wasn't.
No. It's a lot of no. That mine starts with no. And then and then name dropping people, of course, not serial killers, but don't put me on the spot. I don't want Lorne to see this.
No, all I meant is people often have one phrase that he says that's what they go with. Like,
oh, mine is I know.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Bill will also do right. Mine is he would say to me, "You're the greatest Irish American writer we've ever had." He would look at me. It was strange when he'd say it. Apropos of nothing, he'd look at me, and it meant a lot. But he said, by a mile, you're the greatest Irish American, which was specific.
Yeah, really specific.
Yeah, wow. and I didn't even do the voice just because it meant so much to me. When you hosted, was it weird to have been a writer? And
yes, I remember that being very, very strange. And of all the strange things that have happened to me, I find that to be maybe the most miraculous.
Yeah.
That having worked there as a writer and being so nervous and being so worried that I might not do a good job, if you had ever told me then that you'll be back in 10 years and you'll be hosting it, I think I would have had you committed. That's insane. I really, and to this day, that's one of those things that, and a lot of nice things have happened for me, but that, I think, maybe beats everything.
Yeah.
It really meant a lot to me. Yeah.
There's also this, when you're a writer, you're working, from Monday to when the show starts nonstop, but you don't have to go on TV, so you can look like garbage, You can really be emaciated and sleep deprived and stuff.
Right.
So the idea of working all week and then having to go out there and talk was terrifying. It was like, I was like a busboy, and I'm like, I'm a good busboy, but then they made me the maitre d'. And I just keep trying to refill waters.
Yeah. You are a very nice guy.
Thank you.
You're very good at pretending sometimes to not be a nice guy for fun. And I watched this episode, like, right there, I know you didn't mean that. I know you hold me in the highest regard.
Yeah, no, I do. You're my hero.
Yeah.
You're my hero.
Please.
You're my hero.
But anyway, please, that's all over now. I'll find where that body fat is. I'll find it. I'll expose you. I love calipers. I love calipers. I got it, Mulaney.
Oh, man. I hate calipers.
No, you know what's funny, though, is that you did an episode of Crashing that I just saw a couple days ago, Pete Holmes' show, Crashing, and in it, you were required, you played yourself, but you played, you were a real asshole for most of the episode, and you were very, very believable.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I take that as a small compliment to being able to act a little, which I am not that good at, so I appreciate that. Other people, though, would say, you're an asshole, because you were an asshole on the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I guess you don't think I can act at all, because I was playing an asshole, and they're like, you can't play anything. You must be an asshole.
Who's talking to you this way?
These are imaginary conversations.
Okay.
People online, they go, I just saw a TV show, you're an asshole, you know?
Yeah.
It's that brief.
Yeah, you weren't so nice to Pete Holmes in that episode.
It was a fake scenario.
Yes, it was.
The whole episode was pretend.
You were very... But isn't it fun? It's fun to play, and I don't know if it's an Irish Catholic thing, but I'm always, was raised to be so nice, and when your job in a role or in a sketch is to be a prick, it's so liberating. It's fun. It looked like you were having... I bet you had a good time.
I didn't have to not say some of the things I think of, you know? You know, if some...
This is so nice.
Like, have you ever thought, like, idiot at the end of a sentence, but you don't say it? Like, it's right over there. I didn't have to do that. It's right over there, idiot. What are you talking about? So it was very fun. I also am very close friends with Pete, and our rapport is that I would mercilessly make fun of him when we would go out to breakfast, especially during his divorce. I would make fun of it in a way that, but through humor, to get him over the difficult time.
Yes.
I think I should check in if it worked with him. So he wanted to write me as that version.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Routinely after the late night show, I mess around a lot with our writers, and I like to go on these long tirades. And we were doing the late night show. You remember where the wardrobe room was, Andy? It was like way down the hall on the 6th floor in Rockefeller Center. And I just, for no reason, it was over. The show was over. And I went storming down the hall for no reason and went into the wardrobe room, and Tina Ryan's there, who's one of the most loveliest women in the world, and I just started to go like, this is unacceptable! And it was just totally not, joking around, and she knew that. She and Bruce Brummage knew that, and I'm like, this is just bullshit! You trust me like that? And I was going completely like that. When the guest, who was Jenny McCarthy, walked by with her, I think, boyfriend manager or husband manager at the time, and they peered in, and I was like, that's you! Look at him! And I looked, and I started to go, no, this is just a... And they scurried away.
Wow.
And I know that she has probably told many people he is the worst. He was screaming at the top of his lungs, out of control.
She probably blames the measles vaccine that you got as a kid. He must have gotten inoculated. This guy goes on tirades.
Look at this guy over here.
Ripped from the headlines.
Like all nice people, I think the three of us are actually not nice.
We were at dinner, and you said something to me that was a little surprising. You talked about as a kid, that you were a huge fan of Frank Sinatra, and I thought, that's interesting to me that you would appreciate Sinatra at such a young age. You were like 10, 11?
I was 10 when I got interested in Sinatra, and when I was 11, for my 11th birthday, I went to see Frank Sinatra live.
You saw him?
Yes, and it was amazing. He came out, and he was old. Because it was 1993.
Yep.
And he was born, 93 years before that.
Yeah.
But he came out, and it was still Frank. As an 11-year-old, I said, that's still Frank.
He still got it.
And, Frank Sinatra Jr. was the conductor of the orchestra.
I saw Frank in, Frank Sinatra. Frank, who am I? in like '94, I think. I think I maybe saw him the next year. And yes, his son, Frank Sinatra Jr., conducted his orchestra.
Conducted the orchestra. And we're not just doing this. That's all he did. He would go like that.
And he also cleaned his windshield.
Yeah. A Miyagi
Tossed a
method.
salad.
We have lots of them.
What else?
We got more. We got more.
But at one point during the concert, and when I say concert, I mean the 40 minutes that he sang, Frank Sinatra, when I gave my son Frank Jr. a job as the conductor of my orchestra, we all applaud, and he goes, yeah, I gave him a job so he wouldn't sit around the house smoking dope. And my dad went, oof.
Oof.
My dad went, oof.
That's kind of rough.
Yeah. But I love Sinatra.
Yeah.
And yes, it was weird. And I think I found his greatest hits album in a pile of records and started listening to it. And I was an off-putting strange child.
I'm gonna say you're a little.
I carried a briefcase that same year of school.
Did you wear a little bowler hat?
No, but I'm not kidding. I carried a briefcase.
Did you really carry a briefcase?
Yeah, I carried a briefcase to school.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were beaten horribly, I hope.
I went to I was in a sheltered enough environment where it was okay. I would put my briefcase up on my desk and then open it and take out my homework, and it was very odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all worked out.
And I would put shaving cream on my face, like a man would to shave, but then I would just wipe it off.
Do you have any idea now why you did those things? You look back at that time of your life and...
Just as now I wanted to be a man in 1951.
Big Mouth. I'm a big fan of Big Mouth. And you work on Big Mouth.
All credit there goes to Nick Kroll and Andrew Goldberg and Mark and Jen Flackett, who created it. I'm very lucky to do a voice.
Well, but your voiceover is very good, and I was talking to Nick Kroll about it, and Nick Kroll on this show, sitting in that very seat, said that he... There's no good way to say this, but he was complimenting you on... because your character has to simulate vocally many orgasms, and... Nick was going on and on about the variety and intensity of your simulated orgasms.
He was going on and on.
He went on and on about it.
A lot of times when we're recording the show, they'll say, like, can you give us just a half orgasm, you know, like just like a hint of one? And I was like, don't you have these from old episodes? Can you reuse them? But yes. You know what Nick said to me? Now I know what it sounds like when you orgasm. And again, as with the crashing, I'm acting. And how dare you? How dare you assume that I don't have range?
How dare you, sir?
How dare you? Yes, of course that's how I sound when I orgasm. And yes, of course I'm an asshole. But how dare you insult my range? Well, this is, speaking of not being a good actor, I found this recently in a yearbook, and I just wanted to show it because apparently at one point, yes, this was in 3rd grade. At the end of the year, we all got these everyone's nuts about cards.
Oh.
What, the acorn drawing?
Yeah.
Everyone's nuts about John
Wait,
Mulaney.
the acorn's eating an acorn.
Oh, my God.
That's horrible. It's eating its own.
That's not kosher.
No. What a chilling message to send to the kids.
Maybe it's kissing its son?
Looks like it's eating it.
Yeah. That is so weird.
But we're getting off track. He is a great actor and impersonator. That's good for you.
I guess I was in 1991, but that's the last time anyone has said you're a great actor and impersonator.
They saw something. They were right. There was something
They
there.
said you'll be in the arts. You're an eccentric because I had a briefcase and was listening to crooners all day long. But I can do a lot of impressions. I can do any athlete and any entertainer, any politician. So.
But we'll see no proof of it, but we're told you can do
we
it.
don't have time to do them, but I can do everything.
You do this thing that I just always love, and I love that it's working so well. You take these sketches that you wrote when you were at Saturday Night Live, and you couldn't get them on people thought that's never going to work. And now that you're John Mulaney, you're saying, I'm back, and we're doing that sketch. They let you do them, and they've been terrific. They really have been terrific.
Well, that's you to say. I never walk in and say, I'm John Mulaney.
Guess what? I've asked around.
Yeah.
People say you walk in with a briefcase.
Yeah, again, consistent, yeah.
I'm John Mulaney, and we're doing these sketches.
Filled with Sinatra albums. You heard this one?
You did Diner Lobster, right?
Yes, I wrote that with Colin Jost.
And we have a still from that, I think, just to remind everybody.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
And then you just did Bodega Bathroom, which... And I have to say, I watched Bodega Bathroom, and actually, one of my favorite parts was when your bow tie fell off, and you quickly leaned over and just picked it up and put it in your pocket, like it wasn't going to get in the way of anything.
Yes, it could have. We had 2 turntables that the walls moved on. If it had gotten caught in there and the walls started buckling, you know, people could have been injured or worse. So I very stealthily, except everyone noticed, grabbed the bow tie and put it in my
It wasn't
pocket.
that stealthy. You drop, and then you go,
Yeah.
Got it!
I'm still at heart a writer, not a performer. I was like, I better get the bow tie.
Yeah. I loved those sketches, and then it had me thinking, and I think a lot of people online are wondering, is that a trilogy? Do you know what I mean? Like you've taken, there's the diner, there's the bodega, and they become these musicals. Are we going to see, is there a third installment?
Well, they are, okay, they're very specific New York City observations that we turn into musicals by stealing songs from other musicals. And I'm not sure what the next would be. I think it might be the G Train.
Well, you can tell by their reaction.
Yeah.
Everyone's waiting for this one.
Have you heard of the A Train? That wasn't even enthusiastic, but the G Train is a train with like 3 cars that runs from Brooklyn to Queens, and it runs whenever it wants to. It runs like, sometimes it's like, yeah, it'll be here in 35 minutes. And it's like a plane in 1924. It's like, it might get here.
It might.
The platform is so empty, by the way. I used to smoke on the subway platform, and this was not like in 1940. This was in 2008. But the G Train is, it's such a weird world of people, and there's always a seat that has a little level of soda just sitting in it. So that might be the next inspiration. But, you know.
So we can be looking for that. We
Yeah,
have hope.
now that I've said that out loud, I guess I won't host again.
When I saw Into the Spider-Verse, I didn't even know, I knew nothing about it. I didn't know that you were in the film, that you were a voice, and when your character came on, it was a really nice surprise. It was, and you were fantastic.
Oh, thank you. It was such an amazing thing to be part of, and when they said you need to play like a fast-talking pig who's a news reporter from the 40s, I said, I got this.
The Oscar-winning Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is available on Blu-ray now, but this is important. Ladies and gentlemen, and it's featuring an exclusive mini-movie with Spider-Ham. You got your own mini-movie.
Yes, I did a small featurette to continue the story of Spider-Ham that I was very excited about, and you can see it on the Blu-ray.
You've waited your whole life to say that,
Yeah, it's natural.
John Mulaney, it's just absolutely thrilled to have you on the show.
You really are my hero, and you're the greatest. And I thank you for having me on. And I appreciate it. Thanks.
I'm a huge fan of John Mulaney's, as I think we all are, but you do a great John Mulaney impression.
I think for him, I was just kind of, I think I watched his stand-ups, a few specials, and I was thinking of like, he always goes, I've noticed when I wear my pants, sometimes I do have ants in my pants. And that's a saying, but it's true to my life. It's always saying like, I noticed something, an observation. And then
he's got kind of an old old-fashioned sort of diction, and I mean, he could be in vaudeville. It could be 1922, and here's John Mulaney. You know.
Yeah, they saw it on the SNL at Home. He was in the masterclass sketch where he's a master at putting on suits, putting together your tie and your button look like you're going to your first Holy Communion. And so he saw it and he really liked it. And then I noticed he does a certain thing when he's walking, goes, you know?
You know what? One of the impressions that you do, I'm just talking about how you'll pick an unusual target, The Little Rascals. The Little Rascals is something that I grew up watching, and it's from the 1930s, but they would show it a lot on local television when I was a kid. That's how I know it. I didn't even know that someone your age would be aware of The Little Rascals.
We would rent the Little Rascals VHS, the classics.
Oh, good. Okay.
But the past few months, my mom, she's let me borrow her Little Rascal DVDs, and she said, give them back, because these are my favorite. I was like, I'm not going to keep them.
No.
Yeah,
so and so you started watching those, and I'm told you do a Little Rascals impression, or an impression of the Little Rascals.
Well, because I was trying to watch Little Rascals, and I couldn't even get through an episode. I don't know what they're saying. You can't hear it. It's so crinkly and old, you know? They're just like, no, hamburger. That's all I could hear. So
yeah, that's pretty much all it is. And also long takes. They'll do there'll be visuals of like Spanky looking at, or Alfalfa looking at something, or somebody, a buckwheat. I don't know. They'll just be looking at something and they'll be like, and the camera will be on them way too long, and you think they just had more time in the 19th. You know, comedy now is cut. It's like this, and back then, someone would do something funny, and they'd cut to someone else going.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? You just had more time during the Depression? Wasn't film expensive then?
Hi, I'm John Mulaney, and I feel cornered about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
You know, you perpetually look cornered, you know?
You think so?
Yes, you look like you always look like you've been backed into a corner.
I always feel like Peter Lorre and M. Just a lot of hands pointing at me.
Right.
Your eyes dart from right to left, sometimes left to right.
Yeah. Peter, on this next take, 100% less. 100% less eyes darting around. Serial killers are supposed to feel some godlike quality. He is the most nervous
serial killer of all time.
Shit. I hope no one saw the murder.
My friend Jeff Martin who wrote On The Simpsons with me, and we've been friends for years. He does a very specific impression, which is, you know, we all talk about older people trying to catch up to the culture, and the culture shifted so rapidly in the 60s that stars suddenly were confused.
Yeah.
So he does an impression of Peter Lorre in 1964, months before he dies, and he's traveled the world. He's entertained kings and queens. He knows everybody. He's very continental. But things are changing rapidly, and he's sitting in his armchair watching the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. And kids are screaming, and these guys with pudding haircuts are going, woo, and everyone's losing their minds, and Peter Lorre's watching it at home, and he says, what's happening? And I think about that a lot, because that's how I feel now, Conan O'Brien, age 60, watching things happen on YouTube stars and stuff, and I go, what's happening?
You are Bob Hope in a Supremes wig.
Yes!
That's where you are in your career. You're like, this will be funny, right? This is what they want? You want this shit?
My favorite is Frank Sinatra, I think, was on an appearance on a variety show with The Fifth Dimension.
Oh, yeah.
And he's wearing a Nehru jacket.
Yes.
And like a goofy outfit. And he's doing a goofy sketch with The Fifth Dimension. And they're, wearing caftans, and they have afros. And then you can tell. He's saying, I have to do this because Frank always wins. Frank always comes out on top. And I am not losing to this new generation thing. I'm going to master it.
This was also around the time he did a cover of John Denver's Leaving on a Jet Plane, which is a very melancholy song, but I think the way Frank interpreted it, leaving your wife on a plane is the greatest. Like, so if you listen, he goes, "'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane." He's so excited about the trip.
I don't know when fuck I'll be back again.
Ask Chili when I'll be back. My parents saw The Fifth Dimension like 20 years ago up in Wisconsin. And I got back, well, how was it? And they went, rough. Was their only review.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Usually parents have a pretty low bar for entertainment they go see. It's just, oh, that was terrific. It's like, Sona, anytime, this is not an attack, but Sona, anytime there'd be a screening that I would go to because a guest was coming on, I would go and see. They'd set up a screening, and I would go to watch the film so I could interview them the next day for the late night show, and you would always come with me.
Yeah.
And I, of course, would sometimes say, oh, that was pretty good. Often would say, that was okay, and many times would say, man, that really didn't come together. Every single time, Sona would say, that was fantastic.
Wow.
And I'd say, really? And she'd say, yeah, I mean, people worked hard on that, and they made it. That was your bar.
That was my bar. If they made it, then it's really exciting for them.
I'd say I give a lot. I'm a lot more on Sona's side on this one.
Hey!
The sheer raising of the money is impressive to me.
John, I would love it if you started writing movie reviews, because a lot of movie critics are quitting. They're famously quitting or saying, I can't review this. It's just superhero movies and movies based on board games and dolls. I'm out. And they, where's your Mean Streets? Where's your, so a lot of people are getting out of it. I would love it if you started writing movie reviews and they were all based on the financing.
Oh my God, that's all I think about. You ever watch a movie and you notice, like, there's no extras?
Yeah.
They didn't have a dime.
Yeah.
That's Vancouver and there's no extras. Just slowly.
They work for Tim Hortons coffee and a pancake.
Yeah,
and
you're
there's
like,
no extras.
There's no one in this restaurant. I love that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, well, all right.
I would absolutely tell the money's the only interesting thing.
Yeah. Well,
truly. Let me think about that before I commit to it. Yep.
Well, I love that because I remembered you and I once watching On the Waterfront together, and I started to talk about how, God, Brando, and this is such a new style, and look how Kazan shot it, and you really get a sense of the city, and you kept cutting me off and saying, this was done on a shoestring. And you were very, very critical.
That insert, that's not his hands. That's someone else's hands.
And you gave the movie 0 stars out of 5.
Yeah, for use of money.
Yeah, and you said black and white. Now, first of all, we never.
I think line producers should review movies. And they go, that's an insert. That's half a day right there. That's a full day.
I would love that. I would watch that any day.
Yeah, that's day for night. That's
I've always wanted to do a celebrity show that examines.
You had a celebrity-driven talk show for a long time.
I forgot.
Right?
I thought the podcast was the start. I forget.
No.
I get the order wrong.
You had a whole career.
It's the end. Thank you. I asked some friend of mine, I was hanging out, my wife has Wise Alec friends, and we were hanging out one night. Wise Alec. Sorry.
Alec.
Come on, I come from a different
beginning
era.
of the world's worst stand-up routine. My wife has Wise Alec.
Or quite possibly the best.
Quite possibly the best.
A night with Conan. Wise Alec.
Wise Alex. And even they have words for me.
And so they, I think it was when Cameo was first becoming big.
Oh.
I said, when do you think I would ever do, when would I do Cameo? And one of her friends said, 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
I was like, all right, I married well. These people are assholes. But I forgot what I was going to say because it was really good. Oh, it was so good.
If you had a celebrity show.
Oh, I want to do one where you open the books. It's called Open the Books.
Yeah.
And we take someone, say both of us knows, and we're just curious What's their nut?
Oh my
How do they
God,
get by?
this is all I talk about.
And
All you talk about.
no, but it's
I hike Fryman and bitch about money and wonder who has money and how.
You got to get together with Dana Carvey because he does this.
Well, no, I was going to tell you, Dana Carvey, and I think we've mentioned it here, but Dana Carvey is a master. He'll stare at me and he'll say, okay, I think this is what you made on the show. You didn't make that much the first couple of years, but then when it took off, I'm going to bet you made this much. And he's always close.
Yeah.
And he'll go, and okay, blah, 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 I know you take care of people, but no, and then blah, 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 and I know, okay, then you, okay. Now, I know you sold the podcast company, okay, but I know you don't do corporate, but you also do this. And then he'll come up.
Yeah.
And he's amazing at it. And so I get him to use that superpower on people that just confuse me, because there are people, as you and I both know, in the business that they do okay, they get by, and then they'll pull up in like a Rolls Royce, and I'll think, first of all, that's the wrong reference for a cool car now, so that's on me.
Well, you
I said wise Alec. Wise Alec. Thanks, pals.
You've set the bar.
Let's all make fun of Conan's oncoming dementia. But they'll pull up in like a brand new fancy car, and I'm just thinking, okay, I want to break it down. And if there was a show that broke it down and said, okay, let's break it down and find out how this person gets by. Because we all know how A-listers get by, but how do these people who occasionally show up in a show, but they also do some gigs, but then they still live the high life, how's that work?
Yeah, it should be called secret money or overspending. So we bring in someone and we decide if they are making more than we realize or if they're spending beyond their means.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do spend beyond their means.
Well, the host of Overspending is going to be John Lovitz. Hello? Why did you buy a statue of a donkey that's made of gold? Jealous?
There's always like you write speeches for Microsoft conventions or something. There's so many revenues, what I call revenue streams.
There's something you don't know.
There's something you don't know, absolutely.
Your little secret term is revenue stream. That's
revenue
cool.
stream, yeah.
What about you? Have you made progress in caring about whether people care about you?
Listen to yourself.
Have you made progress?
Get it out.
No, I'm serious.
Have you made progress in caring about?
No, about what people think about.
About what people think about me?
Yes.
Yes, I have made progress. I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me at all what people think about me, but I've made a lot of progress.
Right. Yep. That is, I would say.
The cycle's also shorter now.
Yes.
Oh my God, I said the wrong thing. Those people probably hate me. No, they probably don't. They probably give me the benefit of the doubt. Over.
Yes. That helps me because I think I've made similar progress in that way. I used to worry too much. And if you had asked me 10 years ago, what's one thing you would change about yourself? I would say I would very much like to not care what people think of me.
Yeah. Even today coming in, I saw Andy, then I saw Jeff Ross. Mm-hmm. And 5 years ago, I would have gone, I'm going to say hi, but they don't want to talk to me. They have stuff to do. They're annoyed they have to talk to me. They're annoyed they have to talk to me. They're annoyed they have to talk to me. And now I walk in, I'm annoyed to talk to them.
And you should be.
The shoe's really on the other foot.
John Mulaney now.
I'm not submitting writer packets to Jeff Ross anymore. I don't give a shit.
No. Well, first of all, you should never have been submitting writer packets to Jeff Ross. What'd you think, Jeff? Pretty good. It seems like it's typed.
I was giving them to Frank Smiley. Was that not the right guy to go to?
Frank Smiley.
Frank Smiley.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have been submitting a writer packet to him either.
I was giving them to Dan Blyer and props.
I think your approach was all wrong.
All right. That's why I didn't get the big gig.
I submitted 3 packets to that fire extinguisher.
That's why I didn't get the 6.
I don't understand what happened. What's with that fucking fire extinguisher?
The receptionist at 30 Rock, or was it 50 Rock, knew I gave her explicit instructions. These are my ideas, ma'am. Deliver them to Mr. O'Brien.
You're at a dental hygienist's office. These go to Conan O'Brien.
Do you care what people think about you less as you get older?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still care, but I care less.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm just going to go away, crumble, turn to ash. It'll all be over.
Not. How do you really deal with it? Don't do a bit.
Don't do a bit?
Don't do a bit about how you deal with it.
How I deal with what exactly? Let's talk about it. Death or criticism?
No, how you deal with whether you think people like you or not.
Well, I've talked about this before.
I do a bit actually. This is
no. I'm. I guess what I do.
There it is. All right, sorry, I cut you.
No, I've mentioned this a couple times before, but when I was a kid, I wrote E.B. White a letter, and he wrote me back. And in his return letter...
In a spider web he wrote it?
He wrote it in a spider web. You just had to do it, didn't you? You just had to do it.
With a goddamn pig?
This is from the guy that lectured me. Let's hear the real story, Conan, and no
Let's hear
bits.
the real story. I didn't say I wasn't going to do bits.
Oh, that's true. You never agreed to that.
Never.
Anyway, his response was...
What was your letter to him saying?
Well, I can only deduce that from reading his return letter because it was so many years ago. But, and since then, the E.B. White Foundation has found the letter. But
whoa.
Anyway, he says in it, he says some nice things about my letter, and then he says, as for your question, if you're concerned about criticism, you're going to have a tough go as a writer, because I was telling him I was interested in writing, and
but you wanted no criticism. I need a very long leash.
I know. I'm telling you, this is what I was worried about, was being criticized. I said I don't handle criticism very well. I'm afraid of it, and he was basically telling me you need to get over that. I'm going to die soon, and you're going to be a talk show host anyway. You're never going to be a writer of note.
You'll pivot away from writing as soon as you can.
As soon as you can, and squander it in a foolish medium. So that's what, I know that it was near and dear to my heart. And I'm not going to lie, though. I think if someone has the wrong impression of me, it's hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
But as you go on, I think, as you know, when you have kids, things change a little bit.
Everything
I think having kids is a huge reset, because you think, well, as long as they're okay, then...
Yep, there's that. And also, you know, I was like, oh, I've met the person, I now know the person that I want to make laugh, and like the only, you know, it's not the only, I like other people in my life, but if there's someone's eyes I want to see light up, it's his, my son, when I get home. So yeah, it does. And all my anxieties are poured into him as well, in a good way, I think.
Yeah.
And also, being a parent's made me dumb. So my thoughts are extremely simple, and they're just kind of on a 20-month-old level. And that has made me 1,000 times happier.
Are you funny to a almost 2-year-old?
Very.
Yeah.
And I am phenomenal at baseball to him. I can hit a baseball far that you wouldn't believe how far I can hit a wiffle ball. He has said things like, whoa, and Dad, I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember, I think it was maybe it was my daughter when she was like 2 or 3, watching me sink some baskets and seeing her face, think he's maybe the greatest athlete that's ever lived.
I'm just picturing you bringing her in a stroller to a public court in New York City.
Yeah.
And then you stand at the free throw line taking shot after shot.
I taped, she was in the sun. And there's a little thing that a little hood that you can pull over, but I didn't do it because I thought it would obscure her view of my shots. And the fact that I made 2 out of 11 impressed her, and then she was very sick from heat stroke. Yeah. But the point is, I'm a really good guy.
No, I can't even think past. Yeah, I used to spin out about so many things, and I used to want to be so clever and wanted to be this curated little prick. And I now have nothing in my head except, yeah, Malcolm, do that. All right, yeah. Baseball. He wakes up. He wakes up at 4:50 a.m. Every night when he goes to bed, I go, "What time are you going to wake up?" And he goes, 7, and we both laugh. And then he goes, "Deal." We say deal, and we shake. And then he gets in bed, wakes up at 4:50.
Mm-hmm.
I unzip him at 4:50. This happened 2 Wednesdays ago, and he goes, "Baseball!" Immediately, I go, "You want to play?" He goes, "Game." So I take him out. Get him out of his sleep sack. Now he and I are in the front yard, 5:10 a.m. in pajamas and jackets. And I take the ball and I put it on the tee. And he's holding a wiffle ball bat, and he goes, 2 bats. So I hand him another bat. Now he has 2. Then I had to buy a third, because when we play, he likes 2 bats, so I need mine. I put the ball on, and he goes, Dad, I do. And I go, Dad, I do. And I smack that wiffle ball so far. And he goes, yeah, good job. I go, yeah, good job. I put a ball on for him. And I go, Malcolm, do that. He goes, yeah, Malcolm, do that. And he hits the ball, which means he hits his hand holding the bat against the tee, and the ball falls off.
Sure.
And I go, yeah, good job. He goes, yeah, good job. Malcolm, good job. And we're just two morons at 5 in.the morning. The floodlights are like ring camera lights are going off. It's so early.
The way he's saying baseball makes it sound like he wants to makes it sound like he wants to bet on baseball.
Oh yeah. Like
baseball. Yeah. We bet on baseball.
He came from a time machine to bet on baseball.
Yes, as we all did.
Like a big thing for me now is I used to need so much to feel any kind of happiness in the day. If I see a garbage truck with him now, we're both so psyched. It's like seeing a celebrity. We hide behind a garbage can and we watch it like in awed silence, like we're two women who see Courtney Cox at the Grove. We just walk barefoot, still in pajamas and jackets, following the garbage truck, holding wiffle ball bats.
And you look at the thing come out and grab the can. Yeah, I love that.
No one impersonates a garbage truck better than me in my son's eyes.
In your son's eyes.
And he goes, Now, at home, you can yell garbage truck all day long. That's something you yell, like, if you get into water and it's cold. You go, yeah, garbage truck! But when you're following the garbage truck, he and I have never discussed this, but we have a mutual understanding. You do not yell garbage truck at the garbage truck. Like, that would be disrespectful.
Yes. There's an etiquette.
There is some strange unspoken etiquette
there's
to
a
garbage
code.
truck.
Yes. And he understands that.
Yeah. So I'm a bad interview these days, and I'm not as fun to talk to at parties because everything's so simplified, both loving my son and being on his level.
If this is a bad interview, then I wish all my interviews were just dreadful.
Oh, how kind.
Can't you be real for a second?
I am.
No, that was awful.
No.
That was dreadful what you just did.
That was dreadful.
Thank you. You said it like a horse. That's so kind. I'm going to wrap this up, but I am going to tell you something I've told you before, which is you are a constant source of, I don't know, joy to me anyway.
Thanks, Conan.
I just absolutely love what you do, and I've said this before, I love your mind and your writing and your performing of comedy, and it makes me feel good about things and about the way stuff is headed. And I am so happy for you that you're finding peace and having a good time.
Thanks, man.
With your family. And it's a nice day for me when I get to sit here and trade stupidity with you.
It's a joy for me. Thank you, Conan. You're my absolute hero. So you saying that means more than I can say in words.
Now say it
Let
again.
me say this.
Say it again as a horse. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Can I ask you a question? You have a friend of your daughter's staying with you, correct?
Yes.
What does she call you?
She hasn't said my name.
Oh.
She just showed up last night, so she hasn't said, oh, hello, Mr. O'Brien, or...
Do the kids' friends call you Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that was something that started in grade school, is that apparently the word went out, you call parents Mr. O'Brien or Mrs. O'Brien. And they do that. And I used to think, that's a little formal. I don't know that I need that. But the second a kid says, hey, Conan, I want to tear into their torso
What the fuck?
with like my sharpened nails.
What the
Pull their heart out and eat it in front of them.
Oh my God.
Maybe an overreaction or
Proportionate.
thank you.
Yeah.
Proportionate. The minute I heard, and my son once, a number of years ago, when he was a little, realized that all he had to do was say, my son is quite large now and older. My son is in his late 50s. But my son said, okay, Conan.
Ooh.
And I said,
Wow.
like, okay. And he was like, all right, I'll try better, Conan.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, it's, I'm daddy.
great.
You call me dad or daddy. And he knew that it really does push a button.
Oh, he really big timed you there.
Yeah. Now,
That's
what
so
about you?
funny.
What do you want kids to call you?
Mr. Mulaney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say, call me Dr. O'Brien.
No.
But
Yeah.
you're not a doctor.
I'm not.
Do you have honorary degrees?
I don't know. Who knows those things?
He does.
He does?
Yeah, from Dartmouth.
Dartmouth. That's pretty cool, huh?
Why'd you laugh then? Why'd you laugh if it's so cool?
It's great.
You were expecting a different
great.
school, didn't you?
It's great that Dartmouth gave you it. Was Cornell booked? Get the tissues. Get the tissues for Dom DeLuise. Was Cornell booked?
Oh, I want the blooper reel on you ripping into different schools. I gave a speech there. It was not a prerequisite. I didn't ask for it. They gave it to me.
You got a bachelor's or you got a doctorate?
He got a doctorate.
What? Wow.
Was it?
Of letters?
Arts or something?
Yeah, arts.
Of course, arts.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you
I'm
mean?
a scientist. In my own way, I'm a scientist.
You know, in the 1700s, you would have just taken over your dad's job and you would have been a scientist.
Yes.
Your dad would have dropped dead when you were 15.
Yeah.
Instead of still being alive. Which is insane.
Yeah, it is insane.
You're like 60. And
My dad.
You're 60 and you walk around with a dad.
My dad.
At this point, you guys should be brothers.
And a mom.
You should just be brothers.
My dad is 94. He fought in the Boer War. Look it up, kids.
Boer War.
Yeah, he fought. Oh, come on. And yeah, he's still going strong. But you're right. In the olden times,
oh yeah,
were my father to, first of all, no one lived past 50. He would have dropped in the field. And I would have taken over his medical practice, and I would have been a phrenologist. I would have measured felt the bumps on people's heads and decided if they were sociopaths or not.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing, and I would have been very respected.
Yeah.
It would have been a better life for me.
And you would have been working, you would have been training to do that from a very early age.
Yes.
You'd had no childhood. People always go, oh, poor Michael Jackson, he had no childhood. But you know who else didn't? Is anyone born before 1910.
Yes.
Yeah. And they
Thank
didn't marry children with a giraffe as a witness.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
This
Is that the first hard take you've heard on MJ?
Yeah.
You never heard? Yeah, it's a pretty sacred cow in comedy to not go after him.
We now know.
Wow.
We now know.
Sona, a lot of people have negative takes on it.
We now know why John was not asked to give the eulogy at Michael Jackson's funeral.
I had a nice version. I had
No,
two versions.
I read your nice version.
I had two versions.
I read your nice version.
That's exactly what the host said.
I read the nice version, and it leads with the whole giraffe, no childhood thing.
I had a version without that, and I was perfectly willing to call in an audible and switch it on the fly, and the organizers knew that. But did I get let into Staples Center? No.
You know, Sona was a new hire when Michael Jackson shuffled off his mortal coil backwards, and
Oh, come on.
he moonwalked off that mortal coil. Any hoots, Sona was new, and I called her from the car, and I said, "This is terrible about Michael Jackson." She said, "Yeah," and I said, "Okay, well, here's."
Was that a test? That was the final test
and
to
I
get hired?
said, no, and then I said, you know, just arrange like a private viewing.
Oh, that's so fun.
And I said, I want a private viewing, and I heard her writing it down like private viewing, and I said, so just find out who we talked to. I'd like some time alone with Michael, and I said, I don't want to run into Tito.
Yes.
And I really don't want to run into the dad.
Mhm.
And you said, and I heard you going, don't run into
I
dad.
just started.
She had
Right.
just started.
Yeah.
So I came to work, and the first thing I did was march into her office, and she was starting to make calls. And I saw in her pad, she had listed all of the things that I had said.
Yeah.
Very
No
dutifully.
Tito, no Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
No Tito, no
and then
Joe
you
Jackson.
said you
private.
wanted to adopt Blanket.
That was a separate call
Yeah.
2 days later.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
But I told her, no, that was just a joke. But then I called you again 2 days later and said, I want to, can you get in touch with my lawyer?
Yeah.
And you were like, okay. And I said, this is her name, and it should be in there. And you're like, okay. And, blah, blah, blah. And she's going to need to figure out, we're also going to need to talk about adoption law. And again,
Right.
and I said, yeah. And she said, what's this all? And she said, I'm going to want to adopt Blanket, and she just hung up on me. So that's when I knew I had
I
hired.
just started working for him. Like, I was so new, and he didn't care.
I would believe you. I would believe him too.
Yeah.
It's just he's a stone's throw from Michael's inner circle.
I was.
No, I mean, two calls and you've got
stone's throw.
two phone calls and you've got Quincy Jones or Barry Diller or someone who worked with Michael.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, yes. Thank you.
It's Conan O'Brien. I don't know if he knew I was calling on behalf. Okay.
No,
all right.
I could get. That would have been fine. That would have been.
You
no
wouldn't
problem.
have known. I wouldn't have known, at least at the ready, that he didn't, introduce him during the Black or White tour. So,
Yeah,
I wouldn't know I wouldn't know at the ready that
because
Conan didn't do that.
Yes, because I was a known person when you were young,
right?
And so, for all you know, I partied with. Al Jolson. Like anyone from the 1920s, you link me to all those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very plausible.
Sure.
Let's talk about subjects that are near and dear to our heart. I'm a massive fan of you and your
That's nice of you to
comedic
say.
stylings.
Thank you, Conan. I'm a massive fan of yours. I am. Wow. There's no other way to do that.
It was an ill-timed. Wow. Because you're.
Oh my God.
Who said, "Oh my God"? Was that you?
No.
I was drinking water, and I'm not that.
But you're a very good ventriloquist. You talk about so many themes that I can relate to, and I'm not going to mention any specific projects because we're not doing that now.
We're not going to do that.
We're not going to do that, but I've seen you live many times, and so many times you so beautifully and perfectly and hilariously capture things that I talk about. And one of the things that you've talked about some is when you grow up in families like ours, in birth order, the need for attention and the things that you will do to get attention.
100%.
And I was watching your, just you being very hilarious about the things you would do and your jealousy of other people that got attention in weird ways. And I was listening to this and thinking, I've got to mention this to John. When I was a kid, I desperately wanted attention. Middle child, didn't think I was getting it. And in class, we read the book Death Be Not Proud, which is a true story of the author's son's battle with brain cancer.
It was the writer who wrote Travels of Europe and Travels of USA. He had two
And John Gunther.
Yeah.
And it's the story of his son battling brain cancer. And I remembered reading that book and being jealous of, and the kid loses the battle, dies. And I read the book, and I remember thinking, that guy got so much attention.
Oh my God.
And it was like, now, do you understand that?
1,000%.
Thank you. Thank you.
I remember telling my mom exactly what I wanted at my funeral, and I had no illness.
Right.
And she said, well, you're not going to be there to see it all. And I was crestfallen.
I still can't get over that.
That I wasn't going to get to see people listen to all the songs I picked and have the speakers come up, say what a good person I was. God damn. Can you imagine?
I remember that, and I also remember going to Mass with my whole family, and my grandmother came with us. And I mentioned this to you guys the other day, but I have to say this in front of John. And so I don't know how old I am. I'm like 11 or 12. And I just feel like I'm just this redheaded, round-faced, freckled blob just lost in the sea. Like, no one's looking at me. So, and my grandmother was with us, who was ancient. She was born in I think she was born in like 1890. So, and, I think she was the person who shot Teddy Roosevelt when he was giving a speech. That was her claim to fame. But
Best political mic drop ever.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bull Moose Party speech.
Yeah,
I don't think
shot.
you realize I've been shot. Everyone laughs. He goes, no, look.
And he opens his jacket, and his glasses case stopped the bullet. Wow. And then he continues the speech. Wow. So today that would be, okay, just be president. Let's stop fucking around trying to find someone else. Anyway, my grandmother's with us. We're all there in church. And then there's the part where you go up and take communion. And I got out, and I feigned a limp.
I knew you were going to say that.
I faked a slight limp going up the aisle and took my communion, and then did my limp on the way back and sat down, and my grandmother leaned over and she said into my ear, "Are you lame, boy?" And I said, "I'll be fine," bravely. It was all bullshit.
Wow.
Because I needed to pop in that moment, and I wasn't popping.
Is responsible for your success. That drive.
My fake limp?
No, just
that's why Lauren gave me late night.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about his limp. Maybe a little late night experience.
Lauren cast him in. Lauren was directing Richard III and gave him the lead. And then from there, from Richard III, he said, "You want to write the late night show?" And he said, "What if I host it?"
What if I host it?
Everyone
Yeah.
was so busy that it happened.
Yeah.
Everyone was busy.
Yeah.
That's why.
That part's kind of true.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Everyone is. That actually is true.
I remember one year I told everyone in school that my dad was Mark Summers, the host of Double Dare.
Whoa.
And I would say these things, then I'd forget about them.
Right.
And then people would meet my dad and be upset. And then I would go to school and say that our house burnt down the night before just to get any traction.
Yes.
It was just about getting a little eye contact and a little conversation going.
We're not. I don't know about you. I'm not defending any of this behavior, and this is sad, tragic behavior. I am just that when until John said these things in his stand-up, I felt, well, I can never admit to this, but then a very well-liked professional comedian and voice of youth said the same thing, and I thought, now I can talk about this. Now I can say that one of the happiest days of my life is when I shattered my elbow and had to be put in a cast.
Wow.
And they brought me, because a kid in school, we were fooling around and a kid jumped up on top of me and I fell back and put my arm back and it bent
A separate
completely.
piece style.
Yeah, the wrong way. And they put me in what was like a 1920s comedy cast. You know, today it would be like microsurgery and then like a tiny. They put me in a cast that was made of a plaster that they
Did
used.
it have the stick going?
It didn't have this. I wanted the stick. Trust
the
me.
stick going from forearm to rib.
Yeah, from
That's
forearm
the
to rib.
funniest thing.
Yes.
Stick. Yeah. Because you
at the
wonder
end-
if there's even anything in there if it's just all plastic.
Yeah. I had my real arm tied behind me, and then I had a fake cast with a stick. No, but I remembered they gave me medication. And I remember thinking, I feel amazing. I have an incredible sense of well-being.
Wonderful.
And then I have this cast on, and they took me home, and they put me. I lived up in the attic. They put me in in the central. They put me on the second floor.
Wow.
They put me on the second floor,
Second
and then
floor status.
Christmas was coming soon. Christmas was coming soon. So my parents brought out gifts for me. This was like December 18th, and then all my brothers and sisters gathered around. And I thought, I hope this arm withers.
Yeah.
I hope this arm never heals.
I'm
ever.
just so curious, talent aside, because this is the talent side of the table, how much of that drive...
He just gestured to John.
Thanks,
I just
Brad.
want.
No, I did it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
What I saw was
He's
you
right.
pushed in and then you scooped towards John.
I took your small portion and I just hedged my bets over here. How much of that is your drive? Because, you know, every kid dabbles in that. We dabbled in attention seeking, but I think at a certain point you go, okay, I got to be realistic here. But you continued on. How much of that drive is responsible for where you guys are very successful? I'm just curious. What?
Well, why don't you take this, John?
Well, I don't know.
Because there's obviously talent, but what chicken or the egg? What gives you the talent? The need to, like, you workshop your talent for a need for attention, or you had the talent? How did?
Well,
it go?
it's like if you have the need for attention, the drive for attention, and then you have the delivery device of entertainment.
Which comes first?
That's why I think not everyone does it. Maybe
Yeah.
some people didn't just love entertaining and show business as much.
Well, I mean,
I was always mystified by kids that didn't want to be in entertainment.
Yeah. Oh,
mystified.
Me too. And also,
I'm still mystified by people that don't want to be comedians. I'm actually still quite confused by why people don't want to be comedians. I'm not remotely kidding.
But also,
I don't understand. It's
you
the life of
openly
kings.
mock the guy that made like the Hubble Space Telescope.
That thing, that's no good. You look in it, you just see your eyelashes. You look in the viewer, it's all eyelashes. That thing stinks. Do you have a friend with a telescope and they make you look at, they go, you can see Saturn tonight.
And
you look in, you see your own eyelashes.
Yeah, I do.
And then when they finally show it to you, it's like a dot and you go, oh, okay. And the guy, one time this happened, the guy said to me, what did you think it was going to be? I go, I'm embarrassed to say what I thought it was going to be. And he's like, did you think it'd be a ball with rings around it and you'd see that through the telescope? I said, yes, absolutely.
That's the whole reason for having a telescope. I can go online and look at an amazing photo of Saturn. I don't need to come over to your house and you serve this shit wine. And now I'm supposed to look at my eyelash and then a dot?
Yeah.
And by the way, that's not guacamole. If there's not onion in it, it's not guacamole.
Wow.
I'm getting very specific.
Wow.
Anyway,
The Hubble's crap. Anyway, it's people that know about that stuff know it's crap. But I know to the public it's a big to-do.
Look, the new telescope, the Webb telescope. Now that's the winner.
The Webster Hubble telescope.
Is it Webster? Okay.
Who was Webster Hubble? Is that Reagan, Bush? What is that? What is that name? That reference? Webster Hubble. It's a person.
I don't know that it is.
Okay.
And I think you should maybe go.
Nobody look at me.
Attorney General
Under?
from 1993 to 1994.
Oh, that's Clinton. Never mind.
Incredible. Yeah, I'm not going to say that you brought us down an unproductive cul-de-sac, but I am going to say you're insistent.
You know what's good about a cul-de-sac? You can drive right out of it. We know who Webster Hubble is now. You know what I mean?
What bothers me is that when you entered the building, the name Webster Hubble was written on your hand, as if work this in.
Yeah.
That's the part that concerns me.
And we still haven't even gotten to see Everett Koop.
I love that beard.
Yeah.
What a great whaler he was. I want to say something else. We've talked about this subject. There's another thing that you talk about, which is likability. I know that you sometimes, I really love it when you break into song.
Sure. Sure.
Well, don't say sure. That means...
No, this is good. It's a good way to show you're listening is to say little things while someone's talking.
Well, how do we know that we're not just dropping those in?
Them, yeah.
You know what I would love to do is record John doing little things like, yes, well, of course, yes. Yeah. And then drop those into other people's.
Of course.
Anyway, I would do a thing sometimes over the years in front of the writers where I couldn't say something to them about how I didn't like a sketch or what the flaw in the sketch was, but I could start singing a song, and the song would very specifically, it would be a very chipper song, but it was the lyrics were improvised, and it would then very specifically get into what was wrong with the sketch.
Oh, no.
And it was like a spoonful of sugar.
It's musical passive-aggressive.
It's incredibly passive-aggressive, but the song would keep going, and I would commit to it 100%, and people would be chanting along, and then realize that they had just had some... there was some lead in that drink.
Right.
There was some... I don't know what that is, but
It was You're Born in the USA.
What's that?
It was You're Born in the USA.
Yes.
Behind that driving beat.
Reagan said, oh, well, you know, we'll use that as my song. And then he hadn't listened to the lyrics.
No, I hadn't listened, no.
Yeah.
They were critiquing his sketch.
Yes. So my question is, I've seen you do that, and I really like that. And I love the whole idea of being able to communicate truth by just singing a song about what a waste of time Webster Hubble reference was and how we won't recover, You know what I mean? And then it comes out that way in song.
I'm the guy who makes references all the time, but when Mulaney makes references, I shit on them, and I bore my staff with old references all the time. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly, just like that. You can edit, right?
I won't, but I can.
No, okay. End right where I did.
I won't.
And then put in cheers, and then edit out the part where Mulaney comes right back at me. And it's like Edith Bunker saying, maybe you're the meathead.
No, what
and the
I'll probably
crowd goes
do is
crazy.
Edit in that time. Multiple times you referenced Tova Borgnine, Ernest Borgnine's wife.
Yes.
Yeah, they had a bad divorce.
Did they?
Tova and Ernest?
Yeah.
Really? Right?
He divorced her because her forearms were bigger.
Wow.
Add more laughter there.
I can't do it.
And then some silence, and then music, and then more laughter. Okay.
Or was Ernest Borgnine divorced from Shelley Winters? Maybe I'm
Shelley
wrong.
Winters.
Maybe he stayed married to Tova.
He stayed married to Tova.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Well, were they married? Didn't they do Poseidon Adventure together?
Shelley Winters?
Who am I thinking? Debbie Reynolds, sorry.
No.
Shelley Winters is in Poseidon
Yeah,
Adventure.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Were they married at the time?
Is Ernie in that?
Isn't he?
Ernest Borgnine is in that.
Okay.
He plays, Ernest Borgnine is...
Let's go to
I
Sonos.
doubt it's after they broke
Actually,
up.
no joke. I think I remember seeing the Poseidon Adventure. I think they were married in it.
Yeah, he's
I think the two,
He's
Shelley
like
Winters and Ernest
yes.
Borgnine, are married to
In
each
the
other.
movie, that's what
in
I
the
meant.
movie.
Yeah. Yes, they are. And then they're both in the movie. They're both in the movie, and they're married. And I think he's like a retired police detective or police captain.
Okay.
I believe.
You're welcome.
Nicely done.
Nicely
you.
done.
Yeah.
Sona finally made a reference that I get.
All right. Okay.
Okay, let's just take it easy.
Just
and
relax.
everyone,
Just relax.
let's put the knives away.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
Your attack on me, I think, was completely unfounded. But you talk about likability. That's something I think about sometimes. Clearly, it's so
Sometimes?
Well, it's funny because people that I clearly on the podcast have shed my concern for likability, but
Yes, you have.
yeah, but I'm saying
I mean, in a good way. You have. Yeah.
I
You've
mean,
shown how mean you can be.
oh please, I don't think mean. I think
Yes.
bravely honest is the
No,
way I would
mean.
call it.
No, it's like you're
a monster.
You changed up pitches, and you're like, oh, the whole time he's been mean.
Yeah. Well, we could have.
We all knew.
Which is the big reveal for every comedian. Oh, they have contempt for so many people and so many things. Oh, that's the big. Did you guess what? That's everyone's rosebud is a sled that says kind of mean.
Yes. Yeah, I don't.
Take a second.
Yeah. To think about the sled?
Just to collect yourself.
I'm really rattled.
Yeah, you're shaking up a lot.
Yeah, this has been a huge revelation for me.
How about that funny waiter we had at dinner a few months ago?
Which waiter? I don't even
Bel
look
Air
at.
Hotel.
I don't even look at.
Remember how
those
funny that
people.
waiter was? He gave you the bill. You nicely treated me to dinner, and he said, and you said, and I'm not leaving a tip. And he said, sir, I'm expecting something absolutely amazing.
That's true.
He had like Bob Balaban
He was
timing.
yes, he had perfect timing.
Yeah, he was great.
He was very good. I forgot. We had a good time, didn't we?
We had a
Did we
great
see
time.
any famous people that
We
night?
saw John Mellencamp from a distance.
I didn't see him. He was blocked.
I saw him. I saw his profile. We saw, and we knew the guy he was with.
That's right. We did know.
I had a large gum abscess worked on that day, so my face had like a golf ball in it.
People in the restaurant thought I had struck you.
I know, it really did look
It
like
did
that.
look
my
like
face
I had
was
roughed up
swollen up,
John
but
Mulaney.
it didn't hurt, and I didn't want to cancel dinner because he's so hard to get to nail down plans with. Ever since he got married, yeah.
Oh, really?
When I knew him pre-Liza, it was like we were like,
oh, the times we had.
Oh yeah, we were
Insane.
like Bert Schneider and
Dip Kibler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like BBS. We were like those guys.
No, we were.
What is
They
this?
used to
What
call.
is-
Seriously, they used to
okay.
call us the Wolf Pack.
Oh,
And
right.
it-
Two of you.
Well, there was another. I don't know if they want to mention we should mention the name on mic. It's your call more than mine.
You go. You say it.
No, I know.
Come on, we know it's Tova Borgman.
It is not Tova Borgman. But it was you, me, Alex Trebek, who's not around anymore.
He's not around anymore. Yeah.
Well, he's not.
That's a good way to say it.
Well, I'm sorry, he's not.
We were young. We had fun.
We had
That's what
so
I
much
say.
fun.
Yeah.
I tore it up. And there are whole areas of New York I can't go to anymore.
Right.
We'd close out Jones on 3rd.
Yeah.
It's a lunch place. No,
Yeah,
people around the world.
very
people around the world.
I
That's a calm lunch place.
It's real
Yeah.
chill.
Bunch of Southern
It's
Californians
nice.
here.
It's lovely.
No,
Yeah.
whatever. But then, yes, I got married and I settled down. And then you were like a baby about the whole thing.
I stomped my feet at the wedding.
He did. He did a full-on Rumpelstiltskin. He was going up and down,
Jumping up and
down,
stomping in dirty cowboy boots.
a little cloud raised up.
Yeah.
But when you realized that I had this mean streak, did it endear you to me, or were you disgusted?
No, I knew the first
There's
time.
those are the only two choices.
It endeared me to you. But when I would do stand up on late night, I got to meet you after. I got to meet you on the show, and then I got to talk to you after. And you were talking about you were shitting on the other guests to me. I was thrilled.
Yeah.
You said it was like wrestling a cat trying to get an interview out of someone, and I
Yes.
love to know that you had great contempt for your other guests.
Oh yes. No, I think it's almost you'd need to be lobotomized to interview people every single night and just be delighted by everybody. It's not possible.
No, and you were.
But also, I knew I could talk to you about
Yes,
it.
immediately that was quite an honor to me. Is that you felt you could say nasty things about other people to me, which you could, and you can.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest gifts you can give a young man that you're mentoring.
Is to let him know.
Is to let him know just
how small you are on the inside.
what a little
little prick you are.
Yeah, what a nosy neighbor gossip you are. Do you have good neighbors? Do you have nosy neighbors that snoop?
I have nosy neighbors that know that Liza's a witch.
Oh, no.
Because they've been peering through the hedges. Yeah. Wait, no, but I love people. Then there are people that are able to, our mutual friend who we both adore, Martin Short, he's so mean. He can be so mean and incisively mean about people and situations and gossipy, but he also has incorporated that into his on stage.
Oh my God! No one's done it better.
And no one's done it better. And he's so. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think aren't all comedians mean? Sorry, I mean there seems to be a mean streak in.
Mean meaning not cruel.
Yeah.
If there's a joke,
how would you describe it actually?
Like if you're with a group of comedians and they can make a joke about you that's mean, but they'll know it'll get a laugh, they'll do it.
They'll do it 10 times out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was going to say...
Nate Bargatze once described doing stand-up for people that don't know what stand-up is. He did it at a award thing for his father. And he said, they don't know I'm a comedian, so it just seems like a mean speech. And it is. It's like you have these prepared remarks where you're shitting on products and people and the city you're in, and it really is, that's all it is. It's just a mean speech.
So someone did a mashup online of all the times Marty's come on the late night show. And he would always do the same thing. He'd come out, and the first 10 minutes, which was just delightful and delicious for me, was him tearing into me with all these prepared, beautiful jabs, and really going to town. And I would just be dissolving. It's just a pile of mush. I was so happy. And then we'd move on. And someone put together a mashup of all of the best Marty roasts of Conan, and it's online somewhere. And Marty, who I hung out with recently, said that he went online because someone told him, it's really funny, Marty, you got to check it out, and it's had a lot of clicks. So he went online to look at it, and the first comment was, doesn't he know Conan could tear him fucking limb from limb?
Oh my God.
Like, he's 6'4". Don't you? And Marty was just like, what? Like, Conan's just barely restraining himself. No!
Doesn't he know he could tear him?
Doesn't he know he could tear him limb from limb? But Conan's just showing great restraint.
Great grace.
Yeah.
Everyone in the studio audience was always going, wow, Conan is showing great grace to this petty little man.
This petty little elf is just taunting Conan. But Conan, with his coiled steel muscles.
Keep it up, Short. He'll be using your hands for ashtrays.
I don't know. It just was like, oh, okay, that's the essence of not understanding. I would like to make one thing clear, because we're talking about how mean we are. I have to say it. I'm not mean to anybody out in the world that I encounter.
Oh, right.
And I'm serious.
We were all holding you're not mean to.
No.
Yeah.
I am.
To straight.
When I feel.
Do we feel this is lost on any? I mean, I don't.
No, I do.
No.
Because I'm going to hear about it. I'm going to hear like, hey, so apparently you're the worst guy that ever lived. And I'm like,
now
well, no.
I'm back to your neighbors. Who are you around that's going to yell these things at you? You always get the paper on the front lawn and people yell things?
I do. I go and I walk out like Tony Soprano, and I get the paper.
Yeah.
I'm always in the same robe that Tony Soprano. I bought it from the Gandolfini estate.
Hey, more travel shows, less interviews, Conan.
Yeah. Stick to what you're good at.
The travel stuff is working.
I like the travel stuff. More stuff with the guy Jordan. Is he even real? Yeah. I just want to say I want to clear up that you're a very nice fellow with a.
That's nice of you to say. I think
with a cold black heart. That's
we have such an outlet for our anger and disdain that most of the time we're very even keel and nice, I'd say.
Yes, that's an accurate statement, I believe.
Agree. I would absolutely agree.
I think I've been kind to you when people were watching.
God.
Sona, when people are looking, I'm kind to you.
No, you're not. You're not.
Oh, right. You're right.
You're brutal to her on this show.
On the show.
Right.
You were brutal to me on camera when you had your late night show.
But occasionally I'll notice that we're in public and I'll do some performative nice thing if I think someone might see it.
No.
I'm saying if I think people are watching, I'm good at replicating kindness.
No.
Isn't that a great thing?
Yeah.
Lorne Michaels, this is a quote from Lorne Michaels. He called you, Jim Downey, the best political humorist alive.
Well,
that was before the birth 3 years ago of a hilarious child. Ogilvy Johnson.
Well, let's just,
But
I've seen the kid stuff.
Yeah, you're so principled, and you're right. Now, there's so much political comedy now, which is wailing one way or the other, and I find that it's just I don't know. It doesn't feel to me like a satisfying time to be a comedy writer if you're trying to do politics, because there's so much that's just attitude.
There's a temptation to enrage the audience. Personally, I just fucking loathe Trump as a human being, but it doesn't mean that just attacking him is funny. There are interesting ways to attack him, I always like John Mulaney's thing about there's a horse loose in the hospital. Just as sort of an interesting.
Mulaney had a great run about Trump and as president was like, there's a horse loose in a hospital, and just how odd that was. And it was such
a metaphor.
It was a great metaphor for Trump being president. And what I loved about it was it captured the absurdity of it all, but it did it in this way that there was no bile. It was, and it's very hard. You need to sometimes, it was purely comedic, which I loved. Yeah. So let's just end this by saying that John Mulaney is better than anyone we know. Is that the point you were trying to make?
He's very good, very funny man. When Mulaney first came to the show as a writer, you were talking about like my, I like to sort of identify people, and I didn't find him or hire him, but I was walking through, and this is really about Mulaney and not me, but I was walking through the studio, and by the end of my career, I was like, 60 years old, and I was aware of the age gap between me and having once been the very youngest writer, I was now massively the oldest writer, and so I didn't hang out. I didn't do the late night things. I wrote from home, like I live in upstate New York near Cooperstown, and so I would be at home Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I'd write my piece and I dictate it. I always dictate my pieces because they have to be spoken, and they have to be speakable, and they have to be. They're going to be heard and not read, and so you need to. When I'm dictating them, I'm changing them. I go, oh, wait a minute, hang on, I'm changing. And anyway, so they have it a read through, and then I'm told if it's in or not. And if it's in, I drive down to New York. And anyway, so I was in the studio on Saturday, and I'm not even sure I'd met Mulaney. It was like the second show, and I'm walking through the studio, and they're rehearsing one of his he had a piece on. I think it was like his second show, and he had this hilarious piece on, and there's a great sort of. It was the host was Tim McGraw, and who's a really good actor, very funny guy, and it was like a country kind of it was like a show where he does like practical jokes, but he's such a soft-hearted, sweet guy. He keeps like apologizing for. It's hard to explain. You'd have to see the piece. And I heard it, and I know this makes me sound like an arrogant asshole, but it reminded me of that. There was a story about Ted Williams when Hank Aaron was a rookie. Ted Williams is playing. He was somehow involved in. I didn't know they had interleague games or anything, but Hank Aaron is warming up, and Ted Williams is sitting in the dugout and hears from the way the ball is coming off Hank Aaron's bat that he's never heard that before. And he storms out there, who was just taking batting practice? And it was Hank Aaron and Ted Williams, and I sort of had that, it was akin to that. I'm not comparing myself to Ted Williams.
No.
I am comparing John Mulaney to Hank Aaron, though.
He's a lot like Hank Aaron.
But I I'm saying that I walking through the studio and I hear this and I go, that's a new writer. That's not a writer I know.
Yeah.
We have a new writer or a guest writer because that's not, and I'm listening to the piece and I go, that was not written by a writer whose work and I was
That's
right.
cool.
I was
That's
right.
cool.
It turned out it was John, and he went on to write a lot of great stuff. And,
and then he's trying stand up, but whatever.
He's young.
He's young. He'll get it. He'll get it. He will get it. Hang in there, sir.